And hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Red River Co-op Speedway for another edition of Thursday Night Thunder, just south of Winnipeg. 5 minutes. If you've never been to the Speedway, it's something you need to check out. Got a guest with me tonight here in the booth, and he's going to be talkative, he says. Quiet, but talkative. Rennie Paluco, he drives the super truck with us tonight. You guys have the night off, of course.
We do. It's, getting ready. The point of that was for us to make sure we got out alive so everybody can have a full showing of trucks in Estevan this weekend.
Ah, so you guys are on the road.
We are.
Well, we've got lots of action here tonight. In fact, it's a little different than the average night. Now, we talked earlier in the season. If you watched any of the stories on CTV or read anything online, you may have noticed that we're going to be racing normally 5 classes every single week. That is not the case for this week. We have added 1 extra class, and we're going to go down the lineup what we have so far. We have pure stocks racing tonight here at Red River Co-op Speedway. We're going to have the street stocks as well. Midwest Modifieds making their debut here at Red River Co-op Speedway. The mods are here as well. The late models, they're making an appearance, and of course their first appearance of the year, the 4 cylinders, are also going to be here racing with us tonight. So we've got lots of action going on, and it looks like it's going to be an exciting night.
I hope so. I like what I see here. The track looks good. The weather's cooperative, and hopefully the fans are as excited as I am.
Well, it is a little windy here just south of the city. We are, of course, just west of St. Adolphe. If you've never been there before, like I said, come down to the Speedway. Once you come down once, you're almost like a fan for life, aren't you?
Absolutely.
And we have a lot of exciting action here. And, of course, it's going to be fun. Like I said, if you've never been here, you got to come here and check it out. Currently, right now, here at the Speedway, it is 21 degrees Celsius. The wind, 19 kilometers an hour. It's coming from the north, so it is a little cool. So it is a cold night, so make sure you bring a jacket if you do manage to make it out. 33% in humidity. Feels like 21 degrees. It should be an exciting night here at Red River Co-op Speedway. We are still doing hot laps right now, you may notice, as the cars are starting to come off the track, so we are just a few moments away from racing here. We've got lots coming up. Stick around. You're watching the Manitoba Racing Network live on MRN.com. Rennie Paluco, Ken Plating here at the Red River Co-op Speedway, just south of Winnipeg, 5 minutes south, not that far away. Like I said, we are still in hot laps right now. Cars are lining up. We are getting ready to go racing in just a few moments. But hang on tough. We got lots of stuff going on. Now, Rennie, last week, we were going to talk about this a little bit. It wasn't a good week for you. What happened out there on the track?
Well, ironically, this gentleman here just did the same thing as me, only I was traveling a lot faster than he was when I decided that I got a little crossed up and out of shape, and I was going to push that U-tire out of the way, only instead of pushing it out of the way, I kind of ripped off my left front. Set the stage for the feature when we were thrashing to get it away, get back underway thanks to Sean Tunis lending me a spindle. We managed to get the truck back together, back on the track, but in my haste, I was the guilty party that left the upper ball joint loose. Having done that, I was the cause of my next failure when the ball joint then broke, putting me out for the, but at least I didn't cause a caution on that one. I was able to limp it off the track and not disturb anybody else's race.
A lot of damage to the car. Did you have to do a lot of repairs this week?
Yes and no. As far as work to be done, not all that much more than a regular week. It was harder to find the parts than it was to change them.
And we all know racing is an expensive sport, so it can cost you quite a bit when you've been in any kind of wreck. So hopefully it didn't break the bank too much for you.
No, thanks to Gary Philby, we made sure that we didn't. He helped us out, gave me a great price on some of those parts that I needed.
Let's talk about a little bit of last week's racing, and we had an exciting week here at Red River Co-op Speedway. Of course, we raced 5 classes. We'll talk a little bit about some of the races that happened last week. We start off first with the Pure Stocks. They are racing here tonight. Les McRae with a big win last week. He looked good in the feature, looked great in the heat. It's going to be a force to be reckoned with this year, isn't he?
I don't see any reason why he wouldn't be. The Crays have been around for long enough now, a better part of the 10 years that I've been around the track, and they always seem to run up front.
Moving over to the Street Stocks last week, he's one of our featured drivers in the program this week. Sean Tunis ends up with his first win of the 2014 season. Didn't have a good 2013. In fact, he found himself at the back of the pack once in a while, worked his way up, but just couldn't get to that front spot as many times as he would like. Didn't win the championship. He won one the previous year, but this year he's looking like he's coming back with a vengeance.
Yeah, and it's a bit of irony in those statements, which are all true. Having talked to him a lot this week when he was helping me out on my truck, he never felt more comfortable in a race car than he did last year. So it's ironic that just the year before with the older car, he comes home with a championship. He's more comfortable in what he believes to be and looks to be a better race car, and yet he comes up short and has a pile of tough luck in the midst of it, and made his 30 or 35 shows that he ran last year a real challenge.
The one thing about the class last week, they only had 10 cars, and this was a class last year that saw 14 to 15 on a regular basis. There's been a reduction of cars. Of course, we know that the rental car program is no longer around this year, so that did factor in for a couple cars, but they did lose a few others. So it'll be interesting to see what happens this year if they can boost those numbers up, because, of course, we have a lot of classes here at Red River Co-op Speedway. We don't want to see anybody lose a car class, but they need to get those numbers up.
Yeah, and that's the best way to increase your livelihood in that class is to bring more people into it. And the street stocks, or any class for that matter, it could even be the late models. Any class that starts showing up with 6, 7, 8 cars is going to be a class that you have to look at and say, will these guys go and race another class?
Yes.
And if the answer is yes, then maybe it's time to make that call. Not a fun one for the race directors, but I mean, they've got to look at putting what's going to entertain the fans out on the track, right?
A lot of people claim here that one of the big issues is that there are too many car classes, and it's thinned the herd in all the classes. Maybe if we shorten it down to 5, 6 classes, that would be better. But that's something that they're going to have to look at by the end of the season. Give everybody another opportunity to kind of try to make this work. And hopefully we can stay out with 8 classes. I love all the classes we have here at Red River Co-op Speedway. We've got the Lightning Sprints, very unique, very different. The trucks don't really race anywhere else, as a staple. Street stocks, pure stocks, all great classes. So it's going to be an interesting year, and everybody knows that they got to pick it up in order to keep going next year.
Absolutely. That variety is nice as a fan. To see the difference in the cars, but it comes down to the show, right? Nobody wants to see a few cars parading around or the same guy checking out. Yeah. At least we could race with Jamie last year, which even though he won every week, we could make it racy for him, and we made him work for it.
Exactly. Super trucks last week. What a week for you guys, eh? Jamie Bernos, of course, comes from the back again, and he wins. He's got a very good truck. They got to give the pit crew there a lot of credit. They do a great job week after week to get that truck ready to go. But still some good racing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I watched some of the video because I didn't get to see much while I was hanging onto my steering wheel. But on the upside for me, I liked what I felt, and I reinvented the wheel with my truck. And I think that I'll be when we're dry and slippery like it was last week, I should have something for Jamie that I just wouldn't have had last year.
Dustin Enns came flying off in that one right away, and then kind of tapered off. He's a guy to really be watching out for. He's had a couple years now underneath his belt now. He's really starting to make some moves.
Yeah, he's always really fast, and it's a shame that he doesn't travel to the other tracks with all of us. At least his truck is this year with I can't remember his first name now, Rempel. He's going to hold on to the steering wheel, but that truck is certainly fast. In the 5+ years that Enns has been around, he certainly has shown that he knows his way around a victory lane.
Now, one name I want to talk about in the truck class a little bit is Shane Holden. Raced the street stocks last year, won the championship, was flirting with the truck class a little bit last year, going in and out. This year looks like he's going to be a staple in this class, and he did pretty well in his first week. He looks like he's going to be pretty fun to watch, isn't
Yeah, you know what? Shane's a great kid to watch. He's a great kid to be around too, and I mean he works hard for what he's got, and he's super competitive. But at the same time, I don't have to worry when we're going into a corner if Shane's gonna drive me up into the fence. So that's always an important part of guys you're racing with every week. You want to have guys that you're not afraid to run your line with, and hopefully nobody's too afraid of running the line with me. Nobody wants to be that guy.
Nobody wants to be that guy. Modified class last week, that was an interesting one too, because it started off the race in the feature that Kevin Sexton had the lead. He held on to it for a little bit, and then Scott Greer, Danny Staff just came out of nowhere and it, boom, took the lead, and they pretty much held on for the rest of the race. Two great drivers to watch.
Absolutely, and a little fun fact, both of those guys have won championships, and both of them are in new cars to them this year. So typically when you get a new car, you start out at baseline, you usually do pretty good. And then the more time you spend tuning and tweaking, it can go either way.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And it also plays with the track conditions night after night, right? You have to play to those track conditions as well, right?
Yeah, helping staying ahead of the racetrack or on top of the racetrack rather than behind it and chasing it. That's the biggest part of the dirt track that I like, and why I chose the truck class. That rules package allows me all the adjustability to where staying on top of the track is of the utmost importance and gives me the ability to do that. And you know, without the high dollar budget that the modified or the late models do.
Your buddy, Ward Emery, he's somebody to watch. Now, he didn't have a great race. He didn't make a lot of moves going up, but he's there week after week, and he's always a threat in that class.
And again, got a new car coming down the pipe, and they've identified some issues that they're trying to make better with the new car, and that victory circle by Balkan, they're trying to get it to victory lane.
Let's move over to the late models. This one, well, can't say it was a surprise. He comes back for the first time this year, and he cleans up. Ricky Weiss driving the 7W. He was, of course, racing down south for most of the year last year. He'd come up the odd time here to Winnipeg, of course, home track here from Headingley, Manitoba. Races that night and just blew everybody away. Just found the throttle and went.
Yeah, that's no surprise. I actually started off my racing career here in Winnipeg as a fan and watching the Weiss family race. So I've actually watched Ricky right from his rookie year when he won the truck championship, and there's no doubt the kid can wheel.
And of course, Mike Balkan was also part of that race. Mike Balkan was coming in second in that one, and Mike Balkan he looked good, and he said he's recovering. Of course, he had a heart attack last year in the fall. He says he's not quite 100% just yet, but he is working towards that right now.
Yeah, he had mentioned he's feeling real good. Just a little bit of stamina is lacking on that, but I think all of us that have had any kind of health issues, at the end of the day, it's about being around our family, and that's what we're here for, to have fun with our families.
Just to keep you guys at home in touch with what's going on here at the Speedway. Of course, we race every Thursday, but there's a big event coming up here at the end of June on the 26th of June. It is the NOSA Sprint Car Special. It is some of the fastest cars. They're much like a Lightning Sprint that we race here, just a little bit larger, and of course a lot more power in that engine. They are fun to watch, and they whip around this track like nothing.
You know what? I hats off to those guys. I don't know how the Balkans do it, watching Amber race, because I would not want to watch one of my kids wheel around in one of those go-karts at over 100 miles an hour and 800 horsepower.
Time for the national anthems.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home our home and native land. True patriot love in all our sons' command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
All right, we're just about
How
ready to
about
go
a big
here at
hand,
Red River
everybody?
Co-op Speedway.
Jocelyn Giel. What a great job, Jocelyn. Thank you very much.
And we are going to start off tonight with pure stock action. They are lining up at the back right now. We're going to get to the parade of cars and just talk about each one of the cars before they start racing. Like I said, a lot of great action going on here at Red River Co-op Speedway, and you don't want to miss any of it. In July, we got another big night on the 17th. The NLRA late model special is going to happen. And then in August, back-to-back nights. The 7th and the 8th is going to be the Delane Memorial this year. We're going on a Friday night here at Red River Co-op Speedway, so that'll be a little bit different. Make sure you come out and check out all the action. The Delane Memorial last year was great to watch. About 25 cars in the feature. Same thing in the Midwest Modifieds. So it could be a fun night of racing here at Red River Co-op Speedway. My guest tonight with me here in the booth, Rennie Paluco, driving the 73P this year in the truck class. Rennie, we're going to start off here with the Pure Stocks. Who's the favorite to probably win the Pure Stock race this year, you think?
You know what? I'm not even real sure. Usually I spend all my time looking at my truck and what the track's doing, but you know, between McRae's and Delane's, there's those are two big hills to climb for anybody else that's going to try and knock them off the heap.
Of course, they're two great drivers. The cars, like I said, lining up the back gate. We're going to go through the list of cars. Of course, we have 2 heats of Pure Stocks for tonight. A grand total, get a load of this. In the first heat, we've got 9 cars. In the second heat, we've got 8. So let's go through it. On the pole, starting in the number 1 position, driving the number 3, it's Ethan Friesen on his outside. Driving the 3T, it is Trevor Rambo. In lane number 2, he's a rookie in this class. Driving the 41, it's Riley Hopgood on his outside. This is a guy who's familiar with this track. He's been around for a long time. He ran the rental program the last few years. He's in the car this night, driving the 2T. It's Derek Pollock. In row number 3, one of the female drivers, it's the 53X of Crystal May Thomas. In row 3 on the outside, driving the 26, Andrew Thomas. In row number 4, 21 of Brett Proctor. Followed by the number 44, Rod Groening on his outside. And in the 5th and final row, he's by himself. He is a rookie. It's Mark Kohakiewicz. I hope I'm saying that, Mark, right? If you can send me an email, maybe let me know, because I got to find you in the pits one of these days if I have some time to find out how to properly say your name. So hopefully I'm saying it right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to go around turn 3, and it looks like they're going to get a green flag as they go around this time. We are ready to go racing on this June 12th here at Red River Co-op Speedway. We are starting off with the Pure Stocks. And it looks like we got a guest flag holder, and he's giving them the green. We are going.
That was Dave Miller waving the green flag.
As we go around turn 1, taking the lead early in this one, it's Ethan Friesen driving the 3 car. The 3T still holding on to the second spot, but he's fallen off quick on the backstretch. Seems to have a little bit of problem going off the track there. In the number 2 spot, driving the 2T, Derek Pollock keeping up close. And these cars are starting to spread out as they go around. We got 7 laps to go in this race. Number 3 up front, that's Ethan Friesen holding on to the top spot in this one. Derek Pollock in second place as he goes across the line. And the 3T is next, that's Trevor Rambo. Krista May Thomas currently sitting in the 4th spot. A bit of a surprise in this one. These cars spread out pretty quick, despite the number of cars that we see in this one.
Yeah, not often in the pure stocks that it spreads out that fast.
The 21 car of Brett Proctor is currently in 5th spot as they make their way around turn number 1. Our leader, once again, driving the number 3, Ethan Friesen, as he's going around. Now we've got 4 laps to go in this first heat of the Pure Stock Series. Derek Pollock trying to inch his way around. He's 2 cars behind. It's Friesen, followed by Pollock, followed by Rambo. Rambo looking for some first blood this year. And look at the race in the first spot there. Pollock going to the inside, trying to get his way around. Oh, look at that, going around turn 4. Derek Pollock sneaks in there, goes to the outside. And Friesen trying to hold on, but he takes the inside as they go around turn number 1. We've got 2 laps to go. Derek Pollock hits the throttle as he goes to the backstretch. And Derek Pollock now takes the lead in this one as they're getting ready to see the white flag as they go around turn 4. We've got 1 lap to go. Friesen losing some more ground. Ron hot on his heels is the 3T of Trevor Rambo. The 2T, Derek Pollock driving it today. Supposedly he's not going to be driving it all year. His daughter looks like she's going to be getting behind the wheel. She's just recovering from an injury. And as he turns around turn 4, Derek Pollock with the 2T wins the race.
That looked to me like Derek won that race in the garage. He was better to and through the middle for the whole show. He made up all his ground going into 1 and 2 and into 3 and 4.
Derek Pollock, of course, has raced a number of different classes here at Red River Co-op Speedway. He was in the Super Stock for a long time. Of course, he also raced his Pure Stock and Street Stock with his rental car programs. And he's also been in a truck. He was racing with the Dynasty team 1 year.
He was last year. He spent some time in the truck even last year too. But he had fun racing against him in Devil's Lake actually last year. I had a little more than him. I had to go around him high, wide, and handsome. I could do it every once in a while. Just got to work on doing it for 15 laps in a row.
That would help, yeah. Now the handsome part, I got to question you a little bit about that.
Hey, not everybody could pull off the toothless. I make it look good.
We're going to go to the back stretch once again as we get ready for the second heat of the Pure Stocks. We've got 8 cars in this one, and we're going to start off first with the number 55. He is on the pole in this one. That's Bryce Sexton, son of Kevin Sexton. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to watch him tonight. On his outside, driving the 20 car, he was a rental car racer for a year. He's now got his own rig out there. It's Greg Hoare in row number 2. He's a rookie in this division. Driving the number 79, it's Bill Messier. On his outside, one of the female drivers, she drives the 08, that's Jasmine Hixt. In row number 3, we've got the 16 car of Evan Schroeder. And on his outside, driving the number 37, it's Roger Beaujolais. I like the artwork on the side of the car. I got to honestly say I like that.
That's very nice.
And
we might be dating ourselves, though.
Well, we listened to a little bit of that band when we were younger, you and I, yes. And in row number 4, we got 2 last cars. He was the winner last week in the feature. We'll see if he can do it again. He's driving the number 9, a Ford product. It's Les McRae. And on his outside, maybe it's his nemesis, because these 2 guys love to race against each other. It's one of the Delane boys. It's driving the 1K. It's Kevin Delane. All right, that's their second heat of the Pure Stocks as we get ready to go. Rob Como is looking him over as they're going around turn 3. It looks like he's happy so far. As they get around turn 4, they look like they're driving slow out there. And he's giving them green. We are going. Like I said, 8 cars in this feature, this heat race. Should be interesting to watch. Going around turn 1. Oh, it looks like there's a little bit of problems for one of the cars.
Bryce Sexton.
Yeah, he's having a little problems. He's dropped back pretty quick. Greg Hoare in the lead in this one as he rounds turn 4. And we were almost 3 wide there. It's the number 8 of Jasmine Hicks that's currently in second place, but she's got some company coming up quickly behind her. Ooh, car going off the track on turn number 4.
That was close.
That was close. That's the number 16 car of Evan Schroeder. And a good race building up on turn 2 as they're coming out right now. There's 2 cars fighting for the 3rd spot. That's Roger Beaujolais. And it looks like Jasmine Hicks. And take a look who's in second place right now. Started in the tail end at 8th spot. He's in second. He's working his way up. That is Kevin Delane. He's looking to find his way around Greg Hoare. And he's not having much of a problem. Takes the inside track and he is going. He finds the pedal. And it looks like we're going to have a new leader after this lap.
Yeah, unless the sky falls.
Kevin Delane now in the lead from 8th to 1st. That's the way you want to win a heat race,
In 4 laps.
In 4 laps, not too bad. Hoare in second, followed by the 37 of Roger Beaujolais. The number 9 car, Les McRae, he's now in 4th. He started off in 7th spot. He's working his way up the pack, but he's got a way to go if he wants to catch up with his buddy, Kevin Delane. Cars starting to spread out now on the track. Young Bryce Sexton, he is a little further back in the pack, but he's getting his bearings, I think, today. And Kevin Delane, look at that lead already. He's amassed 8th spot in 1st, and he's got
10 cars?
10 cars at least, yeah.
In a lap.
2 laps to go in this race. Greg Hoare in second, followed by Beaujolais, and look at Les McRae trying to work his way up there. He's got 2 laps to go. He's got to make a big move here if he wants to get back into the top 3. Beaujolais in his way. And this is where it gets dangerous. It's called lap traffic. This is where races can change within seconds. And Kevin Delane makes it around no problem. We've got 1 lap to go in this race. Kevin Delane currently in the lead. And now here comes the rest of the pack, trying to get around lap traffic. Beaujolais going to the inside, Hoare going to the outside. Who's going to make it their way around? Kevin Delane going around turn 4. He is going to be your winner. In second spot, it's Greg Hoare, followed by Beaujolais and Les McRae rounding out your top 4. Once again, Kevin Delane started in 8th spot in this race. 8th spot, finishes up in 1st. That's the way you want to race, isn't it?
Yeah, if you asked him, the only way he'd like it better is if he started at the front so he didn't have to risk coming through traffic. But I don't think he'll complain much given he got through without a rub.
And last week, of course, Les McRae winning, so it could be a flip-flop this year, back and forth between these 2 guys. 2 good guys to watch.
For sure.
Well, a little bit different gears. We're going to be switching over to the street stocks here in just a few seconds as, of course, the late models are pulling through the scale just to make sure they make weight. Kevin Delane, like I said, your winner in this class. Last week, he finished up. He didn't have a great week in the pure stocks. Ended up finishing in second spot, I do believe, in the feature. Well, I guess that's not great. That's okay, I guess, on a regular weekly basis, but didn't get the first spot. This week, he's in good shape, and he's got some more points on his competitor, Les McRae, who came in 4th. Okay, pure stocks ready to go in action once again. We've got a total, street stocks in action as we've got a total of 9 cars in this one. They're only going to run 1 heat tonight, so this will be interesting. Let's start off with the cars. Now, this is kind of cool.
Brotherly love.
Brotherly love on the front. On the inside, on the pole position, it's the younger brother driving the 70 car, Jesse Tunis. On his outside, the older brother who won last week the feature in the street stock class is the 39 car of Sean Tunis. On the row number 2, Peter Letkeman driving the number 14 car. He will have the number 3 spot, followed by Jesse Peterson, who will be in the 4th spot. In row number 3, Andy Martins driving the 55. He's in the 3rd row, followed by the 2L Art Lenert in the in the 6th spot. In row 4, we've got Barry Hicks with the 08 and Pete Dominic with the 2T. And finally in row 5, driving the 88, Cody Wall. And Rob Como looking them over, and he's giving them green right away. We are going in street stock action. Ooh, we got a little bumping going on turn 2. Tunis.
Jesse and Peterson.
Yeah, Jesse Peterson and Jesse Tunis bumping cars. And we've got Tunis, followed by Tunis, followed by the 2L of Art Lenert, started in 6th. He's already all the way up to 3rd spot. And Peterson, he's currently sitting in 4th, not far behind the 88 of Cody Wall. He started in the 9th spot, worked his way all the way up to 4th already. This is going to be fun to watch. And look at Sean Tunis. 2 laps in, got a nice, comfortable lead already.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to complain about that starting on the front row. This is that discussion that we just had about what Delane would have rather had happen last race.
As they're going around turn number 4, Tunis, of course, still in 1st. Art Lenert, and look at the fight here in the front between Tunis and Art Lenert. Art Lenert taking the inside. Tunis, losing some ground as he goes to the outside. And look who slips in 3rd spot, right behind him, Jesse Peterson.
Rocking the javelin to 3rd.
Oh, we're going to have a fun night, you and I, Rennie. We're going to have a fun night. Rennie Paluco, Ken Plating here at Red River Co-op Speedway on this June 12th night. Oh, boy. Sean Tunis, currently your leader in the street stock class. He is currently way out in front. Catching up, though, a little bit is the 2L of Art Lenert. He started the race in 6th spot. He has now worked his way up to 2nd, followed by Jesse Peterson, who is racing in the 3rd spot in this race. And a bit of a race heating up as we take a look for spot number 6 as the 55 and the 14 car were going side by side. That's Peter Letkeman and Andy Martins. And take a look at Art Lenert. He is actually making some ground up on Sean Tunis.
Yeah, that's a tough thing to tell in a race like this. You get a feel when there's guys around you, and sometimes you'll just coast, especially in a heat race. There's no reason to use up your stuff and kind of just hang out, and you get that feel, and no sense to push and cost yourself anything.
And then plus you can't see around you too well, right? So you don't know how far a guy is behind you. So you can see how it gets very comfortable where you kind of lay off a little bit.
Yeah, you do hear, and you get a sense. There are places where, like there, Sean would have saw his shadow, and then he's probably now, if he was just kind of hanging out, he'll get back in it here. Especially now that Mr. Lenert just showed him a fender.
Yes. And your winner in this race, it was Sean Tunis. Sean Tunis with the win. So close with Art Lenert. Art Lenert with a great opportunity. Wow, was that race close.
Well, that was a good one.
If you're Art Lenert, you're pretty proud of how you came back in that race, especially when you had such a big lead, wasn't it?
Yeah, you're happy, you know, that you feel like you had a better car and you're set up well to run that feature race against him, and you know that given more laps, you probably would have felt like you'd have no problem driving around him.
Your top 3, ladies and gentlemen, it's the 39 of Sean Tunis, followed by the number 2 car of Art Lenert, 2L I should say. 80 car of Jesse Peterson finishes up 30, started the race in 4th spot, followed by the number 70 car of Jesse Tunis. So Tunis did drop a few spots from 1st to 4th when he started this race, but still not too bad for a young guy that's learning his ground here at the Red River Co-op Speedway.
No, he and I are, I guess, in a little bit of the same boat. We're both in our sophomore years, and my quest to avoid the sophomore curse last week was an epic fail as I drove through the tires.
We have got the media races coming up here just for a few bits, but we're going to take a break for just a couple seconds as we get ready to get back into action in just a few moments. But like I said, lots of great action here at Red River Co-op Speedway. We still have the Midwest mods, followed by the modifieds, the late models, and the 4-cylinder stock. Lots of stuff going on here at Red River Co-op Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, just hold on. We've got more action coming up right after this.
This year, so I suppose that presented a great opportunity for you to move into the broadcast booth, huh?
That's right. I still have my car and hope to do a little bit of racing down south. But for the meantime, I'll be up here announcing with you and eventually making my way around the pits, hopefully.
Oh, good for you. I'm sure that that's always good information when things happen in heat races. We wonder who's going where and why. So we want to make sure we get that information. We look forward to having Tabitha on the job here shortly. Well, this is the Life in the Fast Lane bio sheet, and the guy driving the Energy 106 car is Doug Frost. We have Ralph Miner in the Bob FM car. We have Kyle Bellamy in the 92 City FM car. And in the QX 104 car, we have Sean. So now we're going to ask you folks to help us count down from 5 to 1. And I want you to get really good and loud because Como, our head flagman, he's getting older. And you got to be real loud so he can hear you. Take a deep breath. You ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we are going media car racing. Life in the fast lane.
You feel it, baby?
Well, life in the medium to fast lane. You know, I've heard so many times, I've heard people talk about how easy it looks from up here. You being one, Tabitha, that's done it and sat up here and watched and actually raced. Obviously, it's a little different than people might expect, even driving those little cars.
That's right. They go faster than they look from in the stands. It's a big track. You get going pretty fast by the end of the straightaway. I started in 4 cylinders, and I can tell you it feels a lot faster when you're in the car than when you're watching in the stands.
Well, I believe that. And it's even the whole experience with the wind blowing through where the windshield would be, and no interior in the car rattling and banging. It's probably first couple of times out a bit intimidating.
You got that right.
Well, we're still waiting to see a race shape up here any minute now. The QX 104 car is our current leader. Looks like he's not, well, we shouldn't say that because this is, who's leading? Bob. Oh, see, I knew I was glad you came along, Tabitha. So it's the Bob FM car, not QX 104. Boy, you know, just when I come up here on Thursday nights and I don't get told what to do because my wife can't talk to me from here. But now I have Tabitha up here that's going to tell me what to do. I get to listen to a woman everywhere I go. I'm loving every minute of it. Now, let's get back to the important stuff. Bob FM. It's Ralph Miner. Ralph's 49 years old. And I don't know how that's pertinent, but it is on our sheet. Ralph's 49 years old. Now, how old? Oh, we dropped a car? Who we missing, Tabitha? 106 Energy? I believe so. Oh, he tired out. He's 60 years old. Doug Frost, he's 60. That's why he pulled off. I can understand that, being in my late 40s myself. White flag for the leader, Ralph Miner. This is no minor accomplishment. Who's driving the zero? I guess that zero car is the City FM car, is it? The only one running. I guess we are the only one of the 3 running. It's 92 City FM. You know, with a tape, with that same roll of tape, we could put a 92 on there instead of a 0, don't you think?
I think so.
Let's mention that at our post-production meeting tonight. Here comes our winner. Coincidentally, not the youngest guy in the field, but he's close. How about a hand for Ralph Miner, your winner in Life in the Fast Lane? Well, Tabitha, was it...
modified racing. We've got 8 cars in this one, so this is going to be exciting. And off the pole, it's the 88 car of Paul Veert. Let's see if he can hold on to that lead for the entire race. And look at that, he jumps out to an early lead, Rennie.
No surprise.
It's Paul Veert in the lead, followed by the number 3 car. That's Jason Somack. And on the inside, trying to sneak by him there, it's the number 20 car of Nick Audette, followed by the number 22 of Rick Hamill. In the 5th spot, it's Murray Cozy for Murray Cozy Trucking. He is trying to work his way up, and look at this. He's getting a big break on the inside.
Uh-oh.
Paul Veert still way out in front this one. We got 6 laps to go.
Yep, we got a yellow.
Looks like we got a yellow flag. Of course, we got a lot of many great sponsors here at Red River Co-op Speedway and here on the MyToba Racing Network. We're going to give a little plug to one of our new sponsors for this year. A special thanks to some of our many sponsors, including Murray Cozy Trucking Limited, with 28 years of experience and Canadian owned and operated. Honesty, integrity, and loyalty are important. You can be confident when you cozy up with us. Check out our website at www.murraycozytrucking.ca. Murray Cozy Trucking. He is driving in the number 55 car out there today. Of course, we had a yellow flag just a second ago. It sounds like it was on the number 84 car of Justin Lee. He is a rookie in this division.
Yeah, he looked like he got in just a little high and couldn't hang on and decided he should drive on the opposite side of the concrete wall rather than through it, which was probably a good decision.
Well, that's why I'm not driving one of these cars, because I'm sure that's where I figured there would be nobody else there to get in my way. It'd be a great place to race.
Yes, yeah, I can't say much. I chose to drive through the U-tire last week, so.
All right, well, the 84 car goes to the back of the pack. And in the front, it's still the number 88 car of Paul Veert, followed by the number 3 car of Jason Somack. On his outside, it's the number 20 car of Nick Audette. And on row 3, right now, we've got the number 22 and the 55. That's Rick Hamill, and, of course, Murray Cozy for Murray Cozy Trucking. And we're going green again, ladies and gentlemen. Paul Veert still in the lead. This time, though, it's a little bit closer as they go around turn number 1. Cars spreading out in the back stretch, though they are getting closer as they go around turn 3. Paul Veert still your leader as they go around turn 4. Followed by Somack. And the number 22 of Rick Hamill currently sitting in 3rd. Hamill going into the corner, trying to find his way around. Oh, look at this on the back stretch. The top 3 all going at it. It's Veert, Somack, Hamill. Veert almost lost his position there, didn't he?
He did. He had a little misstep there going into 3, and Somack and Hamill were all over him trying to get through.
And as they go into the corner, look at Somack with some speed there. He hits that corner full throttle. But Veert managing to hold on and keep the lead. He's now building himself a little bit of a pad, making some room out there. Hamill, we got a black flag out there. Somebody's going off.
I suspect that would be for the 84.
I have a feeling you're right.
Yellow usually gets you the black in the heat race.
You got it. Paul Veert driving the 88 up in front, followed by 2 cars. And look at that, we've got a new person in 2nd spot. It's Rick Hamill driving the 22. And Somack trying to find his way around him as they go around turn number 3. In 4th spot, we got the 55 of Murray Cozy. 2 laps to go in this heat race. Cozy got a little pressure going on around turn number 1.
Austin Hunter's trying to move in and take that 4th spot from him.
And at the back, we've got some cars jockeying around. That's the 20 of Nick Audette, followed by the 00 of D of David Delane. We've got 1 lap to go, and our leader still in this one is the number 88. Almost gave it up at one point. Looks like he's holding on so far. Rick Hamill, if he's going to have a shot at it, he needs some luck here as he goes around turn number 3. Paul Veert, he's seeing a checkered flag, and it looks like he's got it. Paul Veert, the 88 car, winning the race here, the first heat of the Midwest Modifieds. Oh, we had
Hunter scoops Cozy at the line.
That was a close one. Paul Veert, very active in the Midwest Modified community here at Red River Co-op Speedway. He's kind of worked at helping get this class a little bit larger every single year. And I think going to Thursday nights will only help them.
It certainly, I don't think, can hurt. I don't know why, but there was always a stigma that seemed to go along with running on the Monday nights. And I think this running to the Thursday night program helped everybody that was on the fence about it sort of want to make a decision towards it.
Okay, we're moving now to heat number 2 of these Midwest Modifieds. The cars, of course, getting ready to go off the track here from the heat number 1. And we've got a total of 7 cars getting ready for this one. We're going to start off on the pole position. He's driving the number 18. His name, Gary Unruh. To his outside, he's from Brandon, Manitoba, driving the 4H. It's Grant Hall. Row number 2, the 44X, Devin Gordon. On his outside, a rookie in this class, new to him, so we're going to find out a little bit more about him. I'm sure as the weeks go on, he's driving the 4D. That is Dave Kurzenko. In row number 3, he's driving a 24 car, James Wall. On his outside, driving an X5, Rob Gordon. And on the outside, on the inside of row number 4, driving the 4B, it's the last car in this one, it's Brandon Rehill. Total of 7 cars in this one. We had a good, exciting first heat. Let's see if the second heat is going to be much of the same. As they get around turn number 3, it looks like they're going to go green on this one. Rob Como once again looks them over. They put the pedal to the middle. We are going green. Grant Hall had a great opportunity last year to win the Midwest Modified Championship. Unfortunately, could not finish the season. And look at him jump ahead early on in this one. Grant Hall. Followed by the number 24 car. That's James Wall. Oh, we've got a fight for the 1-2 position. This is going to be interesting. Oh, Grant Hall cuts in front of him as they go around turn number 1. It's Hall, followed by Wall. Then it's the 5X of Rob Gordon, or the X5. Sounds more like a fighter jet that way. The X5. Let's see if he's got the speed of a fighter jet. The St. Vital electric vehicle.
His son Devin just nearly had a little brush with the concrete there.
Grant Hall currently in the lead. They're catching up to him, though, as they go around the corner. On the inside, it's the 24, James Wall. Four cars up front, 2 in the back. Looks like we lost a ride in this one. Oh, no, he's just having problems going around turn number 4. Now he's found it. It's the 44.
Devin Gordon, who is about to be...
And we've got a new leader in this one.
This is going to
short,
get interesting.
Short-lived, though. 24 of James Wall, the 4H of Grant Hall, and lap traffic. This is not where you want to be if you're a driver right now. Oh, we're close on the back stretch. Oh, and he pushes him off.
No, and that was definitely a, listen, buddy, you're lapped. Get out of my way.
Your leader driving the 24 car, that is James Wall, followed by the 4H of Grant Wall. 2 laps to go in this heat race in the Midwest Modifieds, first race of the season for them. Everybody trying to get around that lap traffic. Our leader has 1 lap to go. It's the 24, James Wall. He's got a pretty comfortable lead at this point. Grant Hall He's got a little way to go if he's going to catch up, and I don't think that's going to happen unless there's a bit of a miracle in this one.
Oh, look at Dad giving son a lot of room there.
Yeah, give him some room to work.
Yeah, and he's still going to beat him. That'll be an interesting dinner table conversation.
Your winner in this one, it's James Wall with the heat win. Second spot, of course, going to Grant Hall, driving the 2H. Pardon me, the 4H. And then third spot, driving the 18 car, Gary Unruh. And that will do it for the Midwest Modifieds for tonight. That was actually some fun racing to watch tonight.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, anytime you can have the guys run pretty much green-white checker and not really wreck anybody, but have people moving around, it's fun to watch.
Well, when they trade some paint, that's when there's always a little bit of excitement. You don't want to see anybody going home and have to pound metal for 4 days to try to get the car
yeah,
straight.
I guess I used to like watching them crash a lot more before I had to bang tin myself, so... I know as a fan, that's what you love, is watching them rub wheels and bump
paint.
each other and the emotion that goes along with it after. But once you got to turn a wrench and bang some tin, I tell you, that morning after the night before is not nearly as much fun.
Well, we are going to move over to the larger size versions of those cars, and that's the full-size modifieds, or they're known as the A-mods in some circles. They are racing here tonight at Red River Co-op Speedway, and they have 2 heat races tonight. And, in fact, we've got a total of 14 cars tonight, so this is going to be loads of fun to watch. Scott Greer last week was great to watch in the feature. Of course, he came from behind to win this one. He's on the pole as we get ready to start this one as they're getting ready on the back gate. And once again, talking about the modified class, Danny Staff is currently leading the points by just 1 point on Scott Greer. Danny Staff with 54 points, followed by Greer at the 5G with 53 points. The KG vet is what I'm going to call him. He's great to watch about the late models, and of course, here in the modified class, that's Kevin Sexton driving the 57. He's always fun to watch, and he's just trailing them by 1 point. Of course, it's going to be pretty close this early in the season because there hasn't been that many races.
Right,
but
only a couple of shows in.
Exactly, and of course, Ward Emery and the 10W is just 1 point behind him. And then Lee McRae just started this class last year, and it's his sophomore season in the modified. So hopefully he can do some damage, and he's hoping to do some damage driving that Ford modified. Okay, we're getting ready to go here with the modifieds. They're getting ready to go around turn number 3. They're going to probably get 1 lap to go. Let's go through the lineup. Scott Greer driving the 5G. He has got the pole position in this one, followed by the 20X of Darian Boyce. He's on his outside. Talk about that KG vet. He's in row number 2, driving the 57 car. There he is. It is Kevin Sexton on his outside. From Fanistel, Manitoba, driving the 48, it's the older brother, Jerome Guillot, on row number 3. We talked about Lee McRae. Well, the older brother, Les, was racing tonight. Didn't do too great on the heat race, but we'll see what he does in the feature. Lee McRae driving the number 9 Ford. On his outside, driving the 51, Randy Bellick. And in row number 4, Stephen Norden, driving the number 4 car. They're going around turn 3, and it looks like we're going to be getting the green flag. Baby, put the pedal to the metal. We are showing green, and we are racing. Look at Darian Boyce trying to get around him right away. Boyce. Yeah. He's getting around him. Can he hold the line there? And look at Sexton. Sexton's having some problems. He's dropping back pretty quick, and Darian Boyce takes the lead early on. Sexton currently in 3rd. McRae still in 4th. Pardon me, moving up to 4th. He was in 5th when he started this race. Guillot dropping back to 5th spot. And the battle's up front for our 2 leaders. It's the 20X, Darian Boyce, and the 5G of Scott Greer. The rest of the pack moving further and further behind. They are cutting it tight to that corner. Darian Boyce driving like an upset teenager out there.
That might be because he's not far from one. He's just a young buck.
Such a great driver, and of course he did so well in the modified class. Look how close they're cutting it around that corner. Scott Greer trying to find a little room out there. The race to watch is up front.
Yeah, that line that Darian drives isn't a popular one because it's a hard one to momentum around, and a lot of, if you got to pass him, you're not a fan.
Our leader's going around turn number 4. 3 laps to go in this race.
Oh, Norden around.
And we got somebody spun out on turn number 4. Is he going to pull into the infield, or is he going to turn himself around?
Good job.
2 laps to go. Our leader still Darian Boyce driving the 20X. Scott Greer trying to get closer. Greer, of course, our feature winner from last week. Oh, look at Greer going to the outside. Can he make his way around?
We're gonna add to this.
Look how close they are. They are coming closer and closer. We've got 1 lap to go. Your top 4. It's Boyce, followed by Greer, followed by Sexton, followed by Guillaume. McRae coming in 5th.
Oh,
this is interesting.
Oh.
Darian Boyce with the close win at the finish line. Boy, that was tight. This gets back into lap traffic, how much it can really play havoc out there when you've got the lead.
Yeah, it looked like for sure Scott Greer was going to be able to power just momentum around there. As I talked about, it's so hard to do with Darian Boyce on his own, but then Norden just kind of slowed him up enough, but then again crossed back over the track to make it interesting for Scott Greer.
Darian Boyce with the win tonight. Big race for him, and man, that was some fun modified driving to watch, eh?
That was.
Like I said, Darian Boyce finishing up first in this one, followed by Scott Greer driving the 5G and Kevin Sexton finishing up in 3rd spot. Okay, we're moving over to the second heats of the modified action. We've got a total of 7 cars, and let's run through the lineup. I had the opportunity to interview this guy earlier this week. He's driving the 25 car, Eric Guillaume. On his outside, driving the number 40 car, it's Henry Peters. Row number 2, 35 car, Adam Magus. And on his outside, driving the number 7, Danny Staff. In row number 3, it's the 29K of Ryan Karalik. And on his outside is the 1R, Rick Delane. And at the very back, not the place where he likes to be, it's the 10W of Ward Emery.
No, but he is kind of used to drawing back there if you ask him.
One driver we have not mentioned tonight, and it's a shame. The A1 of Ian Russo not here tonight. Maybe you can just touch on a little bit about what happened.
Yeah, unfortunately, Ian was out on just a Saturday afternoon ride on his quad with his friend, and had a little accident. Thought he was in a different gear and grabbed a little too much throttle, and what looked like an innocent fall resulted in a fractured vertebrae and broke a piece off the tip of his spine. So he just had surgery yesterday to have three vertebrae fused together, and recovering and getting frustrated that he's stuck to a hospital bed. But he'll be out here not as soon as we like, but most importantly with his family soon enough.
It's the 40 car currently in the lead in this one. That's Henry Peters. Eric Guillaume not far behind, driving the 25, Danny Staff. He's finding some room out there, and he's moving his way up. He started in 4th. He's all the way up to 3rd, trying to get around the 25 car. Adam Magas driving 35. He's in 4th spot, followed by Rick Delane driving the 1R. Ooh, some trouble in turn number 3.
No yellow.
No yellow. We're still racing. Adam Magas, he's got some ground to make up.
There we go. That allowed Emery to get by Karalik and get in the hunt where he wants to be.
Ward Emery's worked his way up to 5th spot already. He's got a little way to go. Emery driving the 10W. He's familiar with this track, being the track champion of 2013. And look at that, Rick Delane snuck his way up to 4th spot. He's working his magic, trying to get around Danny Staff to get 3rd. But it's the 40 car still up front, Henry Peters. We've got 4 laps to go in this heat race. Eric Gio getting closer.
It's an interesting dynamic up there up front with Henry Peters, who's been off for a couple of years, and Eric just in his sophomore year in that modified.
Rick Delane currently sitting in third spot. He's worked his way up and not far behind. It's Ward Emery. Ward Emery going around turn number 3, trying to get around Danny Staff and get a sole possession of 4th spot. Staff holds on as they go around the front stretch. 2 laps to go. Eric Gio, look, trying to make his move as they go around turn number 2. We've got 1 lap to go. Henry Peters out in front. Rick Delane making his move, trying to get to second. 1 on the outside, 1 on the inside. Peters got a little bit of competition. This is going to be a close finish. It's the 25 car with the win.
Attaboy, Eric.
Eric Gio holds on to the final lap and makes a move around turn 3 and 4. That's the way you want to race.
Yeah, unfortunately I missed it though. I thought there was going to be a pass further back in the field, and I was just kind of, I wasn't even a good spectator on that program. I was watching Emery, Delane, and Staff going at it.
Well, you got to put down that sandwich and start watching the game. Let's be honest.
I feel like a referee watching a hockey game.
Danny Staff, of course, finishing 4th in this race. Wow, what a great heat race to watch. We've seen some great action here so far tonight.
Oh, it's been good. And again, nobody's got to be thrashing to fix their cars because nobody was pushing anybody around. It's good, clean racing.
Well, don't get too ahead of yourself. We still got features to go tonight.
Well, that's okay. That's when you want to leave it all on the track. Leave the left front at home and the door on the track.
Okay, we are moving over now to the late models. They have just entered the track, and they are getting ready as they go around turn number 3. We got 5 cars in this first heat, a total of 11 cars tonight. A latecomer just added to the list just a little while ago. It's he'll be on the second heat. We'll mention him in a little bit, but let's talk about this heat. 5 cars on the first row. Driving the 71, he's on the inside. It's Rick Fawcett from Fawcett Auto Body. On his outside is the guy that runs the joint, the big guy. Driving the number 9, Winnipeg Chrysler Dodge Jeep, it's Walt Morris. In row number 2, driving the yellow late model, it's Bill Mooney. On his outside, Mike Balkin driving the 10 car. And in row number 3, driving the 71S, it's Stefan Snare. Now, any one of these guys can end up winning this race. It'll be interesting to watch what happens with such a small heat race. Here we go. We got a green flag. We are racing. Walt Morris pushing it on the outside. Morris trying to get around the 71 of Rick Fawcett, and Morris does. Oh, look at Mike Balkin go.
Out of a slingshot.
Yeah. Walt Morris at the lead after 1 lap to go here. Mike Balkin, though, slingshots up. He was in 4th. He's now in 2nd, and he's making his way into 1st. Oh, Mike Balkin has to hit the brakes a little bit as Walt Morris goes around him. And look at the lead Walt Morris has. And let's not forget, there's a fight for a 3rd spot between 3 cars. That's Fawcett, Mooney, and the 71 is Stefan Snare. Walt Morris and Mike Balkin. Balkin look at the inside. Walt Morris has to go to the outside. Has a little bit of problem, but he manages to hold on.
We got a nice racy surface here. We got a tacky top, a tacky bottom, and slippery through the middle. And that's what makes for great racing action as we watch Mikey make his move.
Yeah, Mike makes his move. Morris just held that as they went. Oh, we got a couple of cars colliding on turn number 1. It's the 71, I do believe.
Yep. 71 is
Of
Snare.
Stefan Snare, and the number 2 of Bill Mooney. That wasn't good news. Mooney's going right off the track right away. We were so busy watching the leaders, we weren't paying attention.
No, we did the same thing I did last time, only.
Pass me the sandwich. Reddy Paluco, Ken Platy here at Red River Coop Speedway as we are watching late model action. Of course, a yellow flag as we are watching this heat race, the first one of the night for the late models. Bill Mooney works his way off the track, so I think he's getting the infraction in this one. Unless, of course, there was some damage. He's getting some repairs. I don't think so. I don't see his car there getting any. Looks like it could be parked.
Yeah, he seemed to be under his own power. Either he decided it was his own fault and didn't wait for the call, or just frustrated with the fact and wasn't worth staying out for the one spot.
Now, I want to stop you here for 2 seconds. I want to ask you a question. As a racer, do you have a preference when you're driving inside track or outside track?
You do. And if you watch Ward Emery, he's a catfish. He doesn't come off the bottom. He likes staying around the tires and moving them in. And even though I was a rookie last year, I liked it high, wide, and handsome. If I can't get my right rear on the cushion, I want my left rear there. So we saw what happened last week when I try and get away from that, and I tried to drive through the U tires. But you definitely do have a preference, and it's not always top or bottom. For example, I used to help Sean Englesby, who didn't like the top or the bottom. He liked the middle.
Let's take a look at that replay here. We have the infraction. We can take a look at what happened. And the driver's, of course, coming off the turn.
Ooh.
And Mooney gets right underneath him, spins out.
Yeah.
And he hits snare. Yeah, so Mooney hits the back end of Fawcett. And he knows he's in trouble, so he just pulls himself off the track. Okay, late models. Looks like they're about to get going here again. Mike Balkin, yeah, he's got a comfortable lead already. I think Walt Morris liked it better before that infraction.
Yeah, he probably thought there was a race going on, and he was in it up until this green flag just fell again.
7 laps to go. They're getting ready to make it 6 here in just a few seconds. Walt Morris in second spot, followed by the 71 of Stefan Snare and the 71 of Rick Fawcett. Your leader, all by him, is lonesome way out in front. It's the 10 of Mike Balkin. Walt Morris trying to find his way around and hold his position, his second spot. Stefan Snare keeping up. Ooh. The 71 of Fawcett hits one of the tires on the inside.
As Snare made it past.
Snare now around Morris. Morris sitting in third. Walt Morris driving the purple number 9. And there's your leader, Mike Balkin, currently in first spot. And it's a pretty comfortable lead if you're Mike Balkin. You're feeling pretty happy about that.
Yeah, I don't think you're too tore up about the yellow flag at this point. Normally you don't like yellows for any reason, but he's just kind of checked out and riding around.
Stefan Snare in second, followed by Walt Morris, currently in third. And the guy in the back, it's the 71 of Rick Fawcett. We've got 1 lap to go. They got the white flag out, ladies and gentlemen, so Mike Balkin looking to put the finishing touches on this cake. Stefan Snare in the 71. There you go. There's your winner, Mike Balkin, driving driving the 10. Followed by the number 71 S of Stefan Snare and the number 9 of Walt Morris. Rick Fawcett rounds out the top 4, and there was only 4 cars in this heat race after Bill Mooney, of course, works his way off the track. Fastest lap goes to Mike Balkin in this one. So we talked about it earlier tonight, how the drivers, of course, last week they saw Ricky Weiss drive for the first time this season. They're probably hoping that he wasn't going to make his way back here too often, and bad news for them tonight.
Oh, I don't know about that. Much like our class, I bet you if you ask Mikey, he'd rather beat Ricky on the track than have him not race here. Even though they've seemed got a little bit of a history, at the end of the day, you feel better when you beat a guy at its best than you do because he's not there.
Well, Ricky Weiss is back here tonight. He will be racing his late model once again, so we're going to see some fun racing, I bet you, for the feature between these two guys. 6 cars we'll have for the second heat of the late models, and then we have one more class following up tonight, and we haven't seen them yet this year. It's the 4-cylinder stock. Probably the cheapest car class to get into. They will be showing up later on tonight. Okay, our late model is now moving on to the track. Like I said, we have a total of 6 for the second heat. And we're going to start off on the pole position in this one. Driving the 5E at Shane Edgington. On his outside, now he's a rookie to this class, but not a rookie to racing. He was the super stock champion last year. They're no longer racing here at Red River Co-op Speedway. Driving the 55 car, that's Mike Martin. In row number 2, always got a ton to say. I enjoy his company and his conversations from time to time. He's driving the 88 car. That is Paul Veert from Veert Landscaping. In row 2 on the outside, rookie in this class last year, did a great job and was among the top 5 night after night, driving the 92C. It is Cord Allard. In row number 3, we just talked about him a few seconds ago. He's a former champion here at Red River Co-op Speedway. He is fun to watch. Driving the 7W, that's Ricky Weiss. And on his outside, driving the 9A, it is Steve Anderson. So 6 late models as we get ready to go racing. How many laps do you think it is before Ricky Weiss manages to make his way around the track and take the lead?
5.
5? We'll see if you're right. 10 laps on the Pepsi board. Let's see if Randy Paluca makes the right call tonight. Edgington, Martin. Oh, they're rubbing paint. Cord Allard and Ricky Weiss.
And that's exactly why.
And they're good friends.
I saw the roadblock. They are, absolutely. They're great friends. I think Ricky's the reason Cord jumped into the late model after I bought a super truck from him.
Okay, just saying, Ricky Weiss is already in 3rd spot. He's just got his way around Paul Veert. So I've got a couple of laps to see if you're right. Your leader in this one, driving the 5E at Shane Edgington, followed by the 55 of Mike Martin and the 88 of Paul Veert. Well, he's just been passed by Ricky Weiss, so Ricky Weiss driving the 7W. Veert in 4th, and Veert looks like he could be passed by Cord Allard here as they go around turn number 3.
Can I amend my answer to not? Because I think Shane Edgington here has got the field covered in this heat. He's not got her right dialed in, which is good news for him in the feature. He's got a little bit of room, but he's got the field covered right now.
So I could be wrong, and you could be wrong tonight.
Thought I was wrong once. Turned out I was mistaken.
Your leader is Shane Edgington driving the 5E, followed by Mike Martin, newcomer to this class. He's doing pretty good in his second race here at Red River Co-op Speedway.
Yeah, you know, and Mike's always very smooth, so that no surprise that the track's a little slippery here, and Mike's doing just fine.
Ricky Weiss having some problems on the back stretch. Paul Veert finding a little room, trying to catch up, and he was almost pretty close on the back. What we found out tonight is Randy Paluco and I should not be betting men because we are way off on this one. Shane Edgington still in the lead, and a comfortable lead at that. We've got 4 laps to go.
And hang on, Cord. Keep her going. Yeah.
Cord Allard having some problems as he goes around turn number 4. As we get ready for our leader. 3 laps to go. Edgington way out in front. Mike Martin managing to keep ahead of Ricky Weiss.
Shane's just a little tight. If he can free up his entry, I think he'll be in good shape for the feature.
Mike Martin driving the 55 car in 2nd spot, followed by Ricky Weiss driving the 7W. The number 9, Steve Anderson, currently sitting in 4th, and Paul Veert in 5th, having some problems on the back stretch there, hitting some dirt as he goes off the track a little bit. We've got 1 lap to go for our leader. Oh boy, having some problems in the back corner. This is the opportunity for both Ricky Weiss and Mike Martin. This is the finish you want to see. It's Martin.
Let's go, Shano.
Ricky Weiss, does he make his move? Can't get around. It is Shane Edgington's to win, and man, that was not the way you wanted to have your last lap.
No, if you script your last lap, it is not like that.
It looks like Ricky Weiss gets second spot. We were close. It only took us 10 laps, and we were one position off. But yes, Ricky Weiss with the second spot in this race. Shane Edgington doing very well, coming in first.
I have to take credit for the win because I was the first one to amend my my decision.
Is that how that works tonight, eh?
Doesn't the guest get to make the rules?
Well, they say that, but I don't know
Get
if
to make
that's
them
going
up
to be
as
the
I
case.
go too, then, don't I?
We've got one class left to go here. What a great night for Shane Edgington. Scary, though, when you go around that last lap and you have a little problems on the backstretch. You go a little wide. You hit the back road where the drivers come up, and you lose some ground pretty quickly, but managed to hold on. Okay, we are moving our attention now to the four-cylinder class. A little smaller than we've seen in the past. Four cylinders have anywhere from 12 to 15 to sometimes 17, 18 cars. Tonight, only 12 cars on the track. We'll see how well they do. Now, tonight, interesting thing, it's Heart and Stroke night here at Red River Co-op Speedway. The 44 car, driven by Rob Reese. We're going to talk about him in a second here. He is giving a portion of his winnings this year to the Heart and Stroke Foundation, so a nice charitable move. Okay, let's go through the lineup tonight. We've got, like I said, total 6 cars. Let's start off on the pole. Driving the number 4, it's Andy Schultz. On his outside, driving the 17B, that's Brandon Rehill. In 44, driving the car with the big Punisher logo on it, black and silver, it is Rob Reese. In the 71, on his outside, it's Dean Milger. Followed by the number 96 in row number 3, that is Sean Perdonick. And on his outside, driving the 17, I should say, rather. It's been a long night already.
Wow.
It is Jim Mulholland. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is your four-cylinder class, and we are ready to go green here. Rob Como already looking them over as they go around turn number 3 and to turn number 4. It is Thursday Night Thunder here with the fastest sport in the prairies. And the 17B, that's Brandon Rehill jumping out to the early lead. Oh, boy.
Oh.
I think we're going to use the new term. That's pulling a Paluco.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I hope not to be down there that long enough to make that my new nickname.
17B still in the lead, followed by the 71. That's Dean Milger right behind him. We've got 4 cars. This is a pretty good battle up front. 44 of Rob Reese. He's trying to make some room out there. He's moving into 3rd spot now. And there could be a push for the lead here. It's the 71 and the 44, one on each side of them. Who's going to get the lead as they go around turn number 4? The 17 big still holds on to it, but Rob Reese looks like he's got a firm grip of 2nd spot now. He is currently starting the race in this one in the 3rd spot, so he's moved his way up a spot. And it's the 71 and the 17 with a bit of a battle in the backstretch. The 17B currently in the lead. That's Brandon Rehill. Rob Reese, though, trying to work his way around. Heart and Stroke night here. Like I said, gets a portion of his winnings to the Heart and Stroke Association. Let's see if he can give them a little bit more tonight. Going around turn 3, it's Reese. Oh! And Rob Reese takes a commanding lead. 4 laps to go in this first heat race of the 4-cylinder class. Randy Paluco is taking charge of our social media, I think, for tonight. He's doing more Facebooking and Twittering than I've ever seen before.
Well, I had one of my sponsors asking me where he could tune in, so I had to make sure Gourmet Coffee knew where to get onto MRN to
watch the
listen
racing
and view the broadcast.
Rob Reese currently in the lead. Just a few more laps to go in this one, followed by the 71 car. That is Dean Milger, like I said before. And the 71 and the 17B battling for 3rd spot. 17 currently has it. That's Jim Mulholland, followed by the 17B of Brandon Rehill. The 96 of Sean Perdonick looking from the back end of the field. Not the spot you want.
No, it's never fun tagging the tail.
Not that you've done that before.
No, actually, if I've finished, I've never finished last, so I better knock on some wood here quick.
Attaboy, attaboy. And he's tapping his head, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to. The 44 car coming around turn number 4. He looks like he's going to get the win. Rob Reese on Hard and Stroke night. What a great night to turn around and win. He gets the heat win in this one.
Lay the Punisher down on the Heart and Stroke. That works.
The 71, Dean Mildred, comes in second, followed by the number 17 car. That is Jim Mulholland. And it looks like the 96, Scott Prodonic, moves his way up. He ends up in 4th spot.
Not Scott, Sean.
Oh, pardon me, Sean. I'm so used to saying Scott.
I think Scott's not even driving tonight.
Yeah.
We have 2 Prodonics wheeling cars, but Scott's not one of them. I think his brother's driving the 91 car tonight.
4 cylinders moving their way off the track. The other group of 4 cylinders now onto the track. Once again, we've got 6 more coming up, and talk about a Prodonic on the pole in this one. Driving the number 91 car, it is Mike Prodonic. On his outside, driving the number 13 car, Mike Wenham.
Fun fact, I drove Mike Wenham's car in a 4-cylinder 100-lap Enduro. Well, almost 100 laps. I made it 30 before the motor went south, but it was all kinds of fun.
In row 2, driving the 16, it's Jamie Law. On his outside, driving the K9, the guy that pretty much a threat night after night. It's the K9 of Doug Krause. In row number 3, the 83 of Norm Anderson. And in his outside, driving the 33, that's Lauren Stoddart. Mike Prodonic on the pole. We've got 8 laps to go in this last heat race of the evening. Beautiful weather here at Red River Co-op Speedway. A bit windy from time to time, but you can't complain about weather like this. No mosquitoes when there's wind.
That's right. They keep you off and let you focus on what's important, the race and that ice-cold beverage you got from the Stacy's Shooter Shack.
The number 16 car having a little problems on the backstretch, wiggling around, and our current leader driving the 13 car, that's Mike Wenham, and right on his heels, it's the K9 of Doug Krause. About a car length behind them, or 2 now, it is the 91 of Mike Prodonic. And look at that, Doug Krause started the race in 4th, is now in 1st after just a couple laps. Doug Krause driving the K9. Oh, we got some problem on the backstretch. That was pretty close. Norm Anderson and the 16 car of Jamie Law. That could have been interesting. K9 still way out in front in this race. That's Doug Krause. The race, though, is really heating up for 2nd spot. The 91 of Mike Prodonic trying to find a way around the number 13 car of Mike Wenham.
Looks like they've got a little bit of work to do. Last night they found a strut pillow that was worn, and that car was not ready to race, so they had to change the strut here before they ran today. And Scott said last time they had to do an emergency change, they went out and won. So if they're going to make that happen, they gotta find a little more here for the feature.
Doug Krause, K9, just goes across the line. He's got a few more laps to go, 3 in fact. And look at this, the 91 getting closer as they go around turn number 1, nipping on the heels of the 13 car. The race for 4th spot also heating up. It's the 83 trying to work around the 33 of Lauren Stoddard. And look at Doug Krause get that big lead. The real race is between 2 cars right now, and that's for 4th spot here at the Speedway. It's the 83 and the 33. fighting for fourth spot. We've got one lap to go. K9 to Doug Kraus currently in the lead. He's way out in front. And aside for fourth spot, this one looks like she's pretty much wrapped up unless something happens. I shouldn't say that. It's happened in the last few races we've seen in the last lap. Maybe something will happen.
Yeah, it wasn't over.
And our winner in this heat race, it's the K9 of Doug Kraus. The number 13 car finishes second. That's Mike Wenham, followed by the 91 of Mike Perdonic. The 83 car, clean cut, gets the fourth spot. That's Norm Anderson, followed by the number 33 car of Lawrence Stoddard. And in the last spot, driving the 16, that's Jamie Law. So, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up heat races for tonight. We've got lots of action coming up, including feature races, but we're going to take a 15-minute intermission here at the Speedway. Stick around. We're going to put up just a bars slate. I should say bar slate, but our MRN slate. So just hold off. We will let you know when racing continues in about 15 minutes from now. So get yourself a refreshment. Get yourself something to eat. We're going to go back to racing here in just a few moments. A special thanks to some of our many sponsors, including Murray Cozy Trucking Limited. With 28 years of experience and Canadian owned and operated, honesty, integrity, and loyalty are important. You can be confident when you cozy up with us. Check out our website at www.murraycozytrucking.ca. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready to go here for feature action at Red River Co-op Speedway. We've got a total of 6 classes tonight that'll be racing in the features, and it's going to be an exciting one. We've got lots of cars in this very first one, 17 in total for the pure stocks. They are really showing their force in this one. A lot of the other classes running with 10 to 12 cars, but this one's 17 tonight. I think it's going to be quite exciting. Of course, my partner tonight is Rennie Paluco. He is just getting ready to go here as we talk about the pure stocks here as they get ready for their feature race. Like I said, a total of 17 cars racing in this one. And we're going to run down the circuit, all the different cars. Of course, with 17, I'm going to have to move pretty quick. So get ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to start off on the pole. He is driving the 2T car. It is Derek Pollock. On his outside, driving the 53X, that's Krista Mae Thomas. In row number 2, driving the 3T, that's Trevor Rambo. And the back side of him, or I should say on his outside, it's the 3 car Ethan Friesen. In row number 3, driving the 20, it's Greg Hoare. On his outside, the 1K of Kevin Delane. In row number 4, Roger Beaujolais driving the 37 car. On his outside, driving the number 9, that's Les McRae. Row number 5, Brett Proctor driving the number 21, followed by, on his outside, the 79 car. That is the rookie, Bill Messier. In row number 6, the number 26 car, that's Andrew Thomas. On his outside, it's the 08 of Jasmine Hixt. In row number 7, the 44 car of Rod Groening. On his outside, Bryce Sexton driving the 55. In row number 8, the 16 car of Evan Schroeder. On his outside, driving the 41, he's the rookie, Riley Hopgood. And driving the number 4 car, he's a rookie, and I'm probably going to brutalize his name once again, but we will try one more time, Rennie. It's Mark Kohakowicz.
I can't wait to see the correction that he sends you via email on how you're actually supposed to pronounce his name.
Hey, if I said it wrong, and I apologize if I do, you can contact us. It's quite simple. Just send us an email on our website, and we'll get back to you. Okay, we are getting ready to go racing here in the Pure Stocks. Of course, they're just doing a couple laps here before the big race tonight. And this one's going to be interesting to watch. When you see this many cars, you know you're going to have a lot of fun in a race like this.
Yeah, this reminds me of when I was sitting in the stands here every week rather than pulling on wrenches. This is what we saw in every class was 18 to 20 cars, and you always got to look for those guys that were kind of mired in the middle of the pack because they did well in their heats. But yeah, they do that all the time, so that means they can't start on the front row. So it gets interesting watching them move through the field.
And that's exactly what everybody wants to see, is a little bit of action. You don't want to see the guy sitting up on the pole position win the race. You want to see some fighting back and forth.
Yeah, for sure. It's even if you were to start up there all the time, it gets boring if you're that good. You'd rather kind of pass the field, as you see guys like Dobmeyer do it in Grand Forks. He'll take the bounty, and doesn't matter where he's supposed to start. He'll start at the tail, and he'll choose to beat the field, which is a little bit of slap in the face for the field, but I mean, it just goes to show that nobody has fun when you're just dominating. Everybody wants to be racy.
Well, these Pure Stocks are going to have a few weeks off here at Red River Co-op Speedway. In fact, they will not be racing next week. They have that week off, and then the following week is our NOSA Sprint Car Special. They have that week off. When we come back in July, they have the first week off. They finally come back on the 10th of July, so if you are a big fan of these cars, it's almost going to be a month till you see them again. Rob Como starting to look over the crowd of cars, just making sure they're going to be good to go as they go around turn 3 and now turn 4. He looks pretty happy so far. They're going slow around that turn 4, but he's giving them a green. And look at the guys going to the inside right away, trying to make some room. That's Roger Beaujolais driving the 37, and we got some bumper-to-bumper action as they go around turn 1. We got them 3 wide. Oh, boy.
Delane right in the middle.
Delane is right in the middle.
With McRae.
Greg Hoare gets bumped a little bit as he goes around turn number 3, I should say. And in the lead, it's Derek Pollock driving the 2T tonight. The 53X of Krista May Thomas still holding on to second spot, but on the inside, driving the 37 car. That's Roger Beaujolais. Started the race in 7th spot, has worked his way all the way up to 3rd already. He's doing well. The 3T of Trevor Rambo currently in 4th spot. And we got a whack of cars going around turn number 3. And we have a problem with one of the cars. That looks like Hicks.
One of the 08s, yeah.
Yep.
Either
Well, it looks
Jasmine
like Hicks.
or Barry.
We'll see if they can make their way around.
They definitely got together with the 41 car, who's all towed out of shape.
Looks like Jasmine Hicks having the problems. The 16 car also looking like they're having a little bit of problems as they go around the front stretch. Our leader still is the 2T of Derek Pollock as he makes his way around the line. Roger Beaujolais now firmly in 2nd spot. Like I said, started this race in 7th. He's in 2nd, looking to make up some ground on the 2T. The battle, though, is for 3rd spot. It's 2 cars, the 53X and the 1K of Kevin Delane. Krista May Thomas, Delane, as they go around turn number 3. In the way, guess who it is? It's Roger Beaujolais. Can they work their way around him at the same time? Beaujolais still holds on as they go through the front stretch. Derek Pollock already working his way close to lap traffic in this one. This is where it gets fun to watch. 17 cars when we started this race, and now they're already seeing lap traffic, and we've got 10 more laps to go. It's the 2T trying to get around the 44 of Rod Groening, driving the Montana's rig.
See, I don't know if I ever want to be in this position. If I as much as you want to be checked out and leading the race, that weeding through the back of the pack deal, it doesn't look like a whole lot of fun. I had a hard enough time passing the fast guys that drive straight.
Kevin Delane in 3rd spot, trying to get around Roger Beaujolais. They're also working around lap traffic right now. We got a lot of cars going wide around turn number 1. Delane, Beaujolais get around the lap traffic. Working their way around turn number 4. Everybody working their way around lap traffic right now. The 1K, Kevin Delane on the backstretch, neck and neck with 37, Roger Beaujolais.
Whoa.
About a 10-car lead for Derek Pollock as he leads this one with 7 to go. Kevin Delane now has second spot. Delane started the race in 6th, is all the way up to second. They were too wide on the backstretch.
Rambo just bumped Thomas, Krista May Thomas.
The number 3 car, Ethan Friesen, currently in 4th. Followed by the number 9 car, that is Les McRae. Derek Pollock. A handful of laps left for him. But Kevin Delane slowly chewing away at that lead. Delane now has a comfortable spot in second. The number 3 car, that's Ethan Friesen, currently in 4th. We've got 4 laps to go in this race. McRae did well last week. He's currently in 5th. He's got a way to go if he wants to win this one. And look at Derek Pollock. Oh, he's feeling the heat for first spot. He's currently holding it, but Kevin Delane, he's nipping closer and closer. Kevin Delane, 2 car lengths behind the number 2T.
And not anymore.
Kevin Delane, they're almost door to door now. Roger Beaujolais still in 3rd spot. Spot for 4th is going between the number 9 car and the number 3 car. That's McRae and Friesen. Kevin Delane on the front stretch. 2 laps to go. He's got to make his move soon if he wants to win this one. He's going to the inside, isn't he?
Kevin Delane's going to win this. Derek Pollock's looking around. He's looking to see when he's coming, and when you're looking back, you're not going fast. Kevin, that's my prediction. Even though we got white flag here, I think Kevin Delane's gonna reel him back in here and do away with him.
We're gonna say it. We're gonna call it the Paluco prediction. And is he right? Going to the outside. Pollock moving a little bit in front of him, trying to hold him off. Look at him. He's hitting the throttle. He's going wide and hard. Kevin Delane. Here it is to the finish line. Kevin Delane cannot do it. It's Derek Pollock with the win. Derek Pollock with the win tonight. Kevin Delane coming in second.
I guess I do better at the lottery than the betting tables.
That's twice tonight. Once again, Derek Pollock driving the 2T Pure Stock with the big win. Kevin Delane coming in second spot. He had a pretty fast lap at 23.48 seconds.
Look at that. Fastest lap.
Fastest lap goes to Kevin Delane. Roger Beaujolais, of course, finishing 3rd, followed by 4th spot. That is Ethan Friesen. In 5th, Les McRae with the number 9 Ford. He finishes in 5th spot. Fastest lap for Derek Pollock was his second lap, 23.339 seconds. Not bad for him, especially for a pure stock. Those are pretty decent times, aren't they?
You know what? I haven't really paid attention to what they run, but that's not that much slower than my truck. So I'd have to say that's not bad considering they have little to no adjustment on that race car.
So Derek Pollock with his very first feature win of the 2014 season here at Red River Co-op Speedway. And we're going to
there
throw
he
it
is.
down here to Darren Palin, who's going to do a quick interview with our winner in the feature of the Pure Stock Division.
Some great work by Derek Pollock in the 2T in the Pure Stock Division. Well, you're back for 2014, and you got the car turned the right way, no doubt about that.
We're just having fun this year. We worked our butts off the last 4 years to help grow this sport, and I think we've done a good job by the car counts. We got 18. There's 20, 22 sitting out there that'll be in the next race here. So we've done our job, but it's time to step back. My daughter is 18. She's going to be racing this year as well. We're going to team up. She broke her leg 3 months ago, so doctor's orders that she can't race until July. So, hey, buddy.
All right, thanks very much. How about a hand for Derek Pollock, your winner in the Pure Stock Division. Congratulations once again to Derek Pollock. Back up to you, Pat Mooney.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is Derek Pollock with the big win. That's exactly what you're here for, to drive around with that checkered flag at the end of the race.
Yeah, one of these days, maybe I'll be lucky enough to hold on to one of those.
Maybe one of these days.
One that I didn't steal at the end of a race anyway.
Well, I heard that next week there's an opening in the media car race. We can maybe get you in one of those.
No, I couldn't. My ego couldn't take it if I did any worse.
Reddy Paluco, Ken Platic here, getting ready for our next feature race, and we are moving over to the Street Stock Division. We have a total tonight of 9 cars in the Street Stocks, and as we get ready for feature racing here at Red River Co-op Speedway, like I said, 9 cars. Jesse Tunis is going to be in the pole position as we get ready for this race. He's driving the number 70 car. On his outside, driving the number 88 car, Cody Wall. In row number 2, another Jesse. He's right behind another Jesse. Jesse Peterson driving the number 80. On his outside, driving the number 39, he won the heat race. Let's see if he can do something tonight in the feature. That is Sean Tunis. He won last week's feature. So let's see what happens here again. In row number 3, it's the 2L of Art Lenert. And beside him, driving the 55 car, it's Andy Martins. In row number 4, the 14 of Peter Lutkeman, followed by the number 8 of Barry Hicks on his outside. And in the final row, by himself, driving the 2T, it's another 2T car. Let's see if this one has the same luck as the one in the Pure Stock Division. That's Pete Dominic. And we are going to be going feature racing here in the Street Stock Division.
Just before we go green here, I got to send a big shout out to the Tunis family, where I've been playing with my race truck all week, putting Ginger back together and helping me out with whether it's tools or parts or just a helping hand. The whole Tunis family's been great, extending their yard, their shop, and their help and effort. So I got to say,
Okay, I got to stop. I got to stop you there. Your truck has a name?
Ginger.
You named your truck Ginger.
Every guy has a name for his truck.
So yours is Ginger.
My tow vehicle is Nina.
It's
Nina Hartley. We'll leave it at that.
Reddy Paluco, of course, driving in the Super Truck Division with his truck, the 73P Ginger. We're getting ready to go street stock racing here at Red River Co-op Speedway. Like I said, 9 cars as we get ready for the feature. And Rob Como once again looking them over. Let's put that pedal to the metal. We are going green, ladies and gentlemen. Ginger. I'm not going to forget that for the rest of the year.
Didn't you notice the red hair she was sporting last year?
Oh, well, that makes sense. Up front, we've got the 88 of Cody Wall. He's got the early lead. Jesse Peterson, Jesse Tunis in the second spot on his outside. Does that look like his older brother?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it is. That's going to be a good talk at the family table. And they're bumping bumpers. It's the 55 and Sean Tunis.
There's a bit of a bump coming out of 4 there up on the high side against the wall, right where I like to be. And that's not looking too favorable right there. Kind of upset Sean's car and cost him his run on his brother.
And I'm sure Jesse won't be complaining about that this week. Jesse Tunis currently in second spot. His brother right beside him, door to door. It's a Tunis 2-3 action. And now Sean Tunis takes the lead in the second spot. He's still got a way to go to if he wants to catch the 88 of Cody Wall.
Oh, Jesse Tunis gets the ball a little rough.
And that cost him a few spots in this one. The number 70 car finds his way to the fourth spot, and it's the 80, the other Jesse Peterson that's in front of him. Art Leonard driving the 2L. He's in fifth spot. Cody Wall. He gives up the lead. It's Sean Tunis now in the front. Tunis, Wall. Then it's Peterson, followed by Art Leonard. The 55 car, he's in fifth spot. That's Andy Martins. And they're too wide going into turn number 4. Fighting for second. It's the 88 and the 80. Art Leonard slowly creeping his way to the front of the pack in this one. Oh, baby, we've got a good race heating up as they go around turn number 4. It's that 80 car.
That AMC Javelin is looking now to track down the 39 of Sean Tunis.
The 2L, though, he's making up some ground as well. He's right on the heels for second spot. Art Leonard.
There might be a selfie involved in Victory Lane if Art finds his way there, if Nick's in the building.
Sean Tunis with a comfortable lead. He's way out in front. Jesse Peterson, Leonard, followed by Wall, Martins. Then it's Tunis again. That's your top 6. Hicks, Linkman, and Dominic on the back end looking far ahead if they want to make their way back into this race. 7 laps to go in the second feature of the night. Cars starting to spread out now. Leonard trying to get his way around, trying to get a hold of second spot.
Oh. I hope they caught that one on replay, because I think I feel like a referee here, like I sort of missed the call.
Car spun around in turn number 3 in between 3 and 4. He's not moving. And they're getting ready to call a yellow if he moves.
Wow.
And they still haven't called the yellow yet. Looks like they're close. Holding
Holy
off the flag.
Christmas, Alice. You let him sit there, the whole field goes by?
We're still racing. And look at things are heating up for our leader,
Well,
Sean Tunis.
Sean Tunis would be happy about that, but I don't know if they're too happy about the whole field going by twice before they decide not to call a yellow. That could have been an ugly mess with a car parked here like that.
Sean Tunis, look at that. Peterson hot on his heels. Oh boy. Peterson going to the inside. The race in this one's right up front.
Peterson's pushing him.
We've got a race up front.
The Javelin is pushing on the player.
The king of the nicknames, Rennie Paluco, giving them all. We've got 1 lap to go, and this race is all up front. Tunis, Peterson, who's it gonna be? Tunis, can he make it 2 in a row here at Red River Co-op Speedway?
I'd like to see Peterson on the wall like that time he won one over Holden last year.
Sean Tunis beats the Javelin. That's the 80 car. Sean Tunis with the big win. Number 2 for him this year at Red River Co-op Speedway. Art Leonard finishing up 3rd, followed by the 55 car of Andy Martins finishing up the top 4. Sean Tunis with a big win tonight.
Keith Tourville will be pretty happy about that player coming into number 1, but and you got the fastest lap time.
Art Leonard, fastest lap, 21.918 seconds.
Oh yeah, that was your fastest car.
Fastest car tonight. Sean Tunis, though, with the win, is second of the season. He's carrying off the checkered flag as he gets ready to come here to the front straightaway for another interview. Second one of the year. He's going to be one happy boy.
Yeah, he might be happy enough. Maybe he'll put a new body on that thing.
And a little bit of a spin-out victory workout there. The body design of his car is definitely unique compared to all the other cars here at Red River Co-op Speedway, and frankly, I kind of like it. It's a little different out there.
You know what? I really didn't last year when he went to it, and it's kind of grown on me. It's much like beer when I was younger. I didn't like it very much either, but it's kind of grown on me, and it's kind of a staple now. So.
Sean Tunis getting out of the car. This is one of the sweetest things of winning on an evening. Doing the interview and, of course, getting the post-race picture. Tim Johnson down there. And it's a good time for me, actually, to say a special thank you to our crew. They do a great job here at Red River Co-op Speedway. Of course, Noel Smith down in our control booth running the show, followed by Marshall Mays doing all the graphic work. All of our camera operators, everybody doing a great job. And there's the man who's a very happy camper tonight, Sean Tunis, very happy about winning.
What a season so far for the driver out of West St. Paul, Manitoba. Sean Tunis, the Gauthier Grand Prix Amusements number 39. Fantastic job, 2 in a row this year.
Thank you, thank you. I just had to get my line first, and it seemed like, I don't know if they were trained up behind me, but the 80 was definitely faster than me, and luckily he didn't rub me out of the way or nothing, but he was working me. Fun race.
Is this 2 wins in a row a sign of things to come for your competitors this year?
Well, I sure hope so. I think we've been rolling really good, and we got this car last year, and we weren't the greatest with it, and we went and did our homework over the winter, and this Player Motorsports race car has been bad fast this season.
Thanks very much. How about it, Sean Tunis?
I got to make sure I thank my sponsors. I wasn't able to get to them. Grand Prix Amusements helped me out a lot. Corners Quickly Racing Engines, Gauthier Cadillac, Sokol Industries, Duals Automotive, Extreme Graphics, Player Motorsports, Davis Suspension, and I got and Dirty Bodies by RJK, Emery Demolition. All those guys are crazy. And I gotta say, Nick Lennart told me he's gonna sponsor me $100 if I won tonight and mention his name in Victory Lane. So I'm gonna take that $100 and go down Saturday and race against his dad again.
How about it, Sean Tunis? Back up to you, Pat and Tabitha.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, very happy man down there in Victory Circle. That is Sean Tunis with his second win of the year. Now, here's an interesting fact. Last week, after the races, here was how the street stocks were lined up in terms of points. Sean Tunis was number 1. Jesse Peterson was number 2. Nick Lennart was number 3. Number 4 was Andy Martins. Coincidentally, our winners. Number 1, Sean Tunis. Number 2, Jesse Peterson. Number 3, Nick Lennart. And in the 4th spot, Andy Martins. So not going to be much for changes there in the point standings, but definitely an interesting win tonight for our winner, Sean Tunis.
Sure looks like a sign of things to come for the season, that's for sure. Those are the guys you'll be expecting to watch have to work their way through that middle of the pack that we were talking about.
Well, we are switching gears over to the Midwest Modifieds. Now, this should be interesting. Total of 15 cars tonight, so it's another pretty big race in this one. And this is, like I said, their very first feature race of the year in Thursday night action here at Red River Co-op Speedway. Last year they ran always on Monday nights. Now they are on the center stage, the limelight, as they get ready to race here for their first Thursday night feature. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the lineup of cars. We've got a total of 15 to roll through, and we'll start off on the pole position, driving the number 24. James Wall on his outside, driving the 88 Veert Landscaping's Paul Veert. Row number 2, the number 3 of Jason Somack. On his outside, driving the 18, it's Gary Unruh. In row number 3, it's the 4H of Grant Hall. On his outside, driving the number 44, it's Austin Hunter. In row number 4, it is the X5 of Rob Gordon. To his outside, Rick Hamill driving the number 22 car. Row number 5 has the 55 of Murray Cozy, followed by the 44X of Devin Gordon. In row 6, it's the 00D of David Delane and the number 20 of Nick Audette. In row number 7, the 4B of Brandon Rehill and the 4D of David Kuzenko. And in row number 8, driving the 84, he's the rookie, it's Justin Lee.
Well, we're getting started here with the one to go. I gotta send a shout out to Ryan Cousins, who's apparently in the field with a strained neck right now from falling asleep while the combine does the work for him. Couldn't be here to race tonight.
And of course, our sponsor for this race, Murray Cozy Trucking
special
Limited.
thanks to-
Cozy up with us, www.murraycozytrucking.ca.
Some of our many
We are
sponsors,
just about ready to go here
including
in
Murray
modified,
Cozy
Midwest
Trucking
modified action. They're getting around turn number 3, going to turn 4. Como looking them over.
Oh,
And Veert jumps to the early lead. Paul Veert driving the 88.
somebody lost some body parts on that start there. I don't know if we're going to see a debris caution here or...
Couple cars riding wide on the backstretch. Paul Veert getting a larger and larger lead after just one lap. Behind him, driving the number 3, that's Jason Somack. James Wall currently sitting in 3rd. Then it's Grant Hall in 4th, and there's a couple guys working their way around him right now. Hall holding on to 4th, does he? Oh, it's pretty close. It's the 22 car. That's Rick Hamill.
Looks like Hamill and Hall are being just holding up Austin Hunter there through 3 and 4. But it looks like they got the better of them and through 1 and 2.
And we got a car that spun out on turn number 2. Let's see if he gets going, or we're going to have a yellow flag. Yeah, we got a yellow flag, ladies and gentlemen. First yellow flag of these features. And it looks like it's a caution on the 44X. That's Devin Gordon.
A special thanks to some of our many sponsors, including Murray Cozy Trucking Limited. With 28 years of experience and Canadian owned and operated, honesty, integrity, and loyalty are important. You can be confident when you cozy up with us. Check out our website at www.murraycozytrucking.ca.
Murray Cozy Trucking driving the number 55 car. He's in the 8th spot as he gets ready for this feature. First race of the season for him here at Red River Coop Speedway, as well as the rest of these drivers. Although Paul Veer does race in the late model class, so he did get the opportunity to race last week, and he's currently in the front. Maybe that was a bit of an advantage. He had a taste of the track last week, so he knew what was going on.
Well, anytime you can put your butt in a seat and hang on to a steering wheel, it's not a disadvantage, that's for sure. I used to give Jamie a hard time last year. I think he drove, 60 shows, and we only had 25 or 27 truck races. So just, you don't get into winner's circle that much by accident, and anytime you can hang on to a steering wheel, it's going to help you do that.
And, of course, this year with the setbacks because of the weather, there were supposed to be some test and tune days. All that stuff gets delayed, so you basically run into here with no idea what the track's like until you get on it that night. Then you have to make your adjustments, correct?
Not so for some of these guys, but for the bulk of them, yes. Like I know Austin Hunter and Murray Cozy, Ryan Cousins, they've all been south of the border. I don't know about some of the other guys, but again, and even though the track's completely different, it's knowing and understanding how your race car acts, feels, and responds is going to be head and shoulders how you make it through your night one.
All right, we've got a green flag there. Going again, 13 laps to go. Paul Veer still in the lead in this one. It's Veer, followed by Wall. Somack on the inside, trying to get around Wall. Ooh, a little bit of rubbing of paint there between the 2 and the 3 spot. And they crowd around as they go around turn 4. Oh, we got a car off the track.
Rob Gordon.
Is he going to try to get out of there? Looks like we've got another yellow. Now, as much as we like seeing lots of cars on the track, this is what happens, especially early on in the season as everybody's getting their
and
bearings.
And even though some of these guys aren't rookies, they did change the transmission rule in these cars to from an automatic transmission to a Burt 2-speed, which is a bit of a challenge to say the least to keep it running if you sort of step on your so-and-so. But you can get used to it, and it'll improve as the years go on or the weeks go on, and these guys get used to just bumping it into neutral once they get up into trouble so they can keep the engine running.
Cars going around the track just trying to get back into order. Let's take a look at that one again.
Just a wicked push.
Yep. And it's the X5 sliding off the track.
It's not really a surprise, that X5 and 44X. That's Devin Gordon and Rob Gordon. If you watch either of them, they both seem to have that characteristics kind of from the middle and off the corner. So might have the same sort of setup going on, just guessing.
$15 cars in this feature race. It was about the norm last year for this class. They were fluctuating between 12 and up to 17 at one point. So 15 is not a bad way to start their season here at Red River Co-op Speedway. Very popular class south of the border.
Promoter's dream is what they call it. They race for very little money, and they put on a heck of a show. They'll drive to you, through you, and over you, wherever they need to get to the front. Ooh, Austin Hunter was on the move.
Rick Hamill having some problems on the back stretch, manages to correct it. Veert still out in front. Wall right behind him. Followed by Somak. It's Hamill. And Somak getting passed now by Hamill. Hamill now trying to hold on to third spot. They're neck and neck on the backstretch, door to door.
Oh, don't black flag him. Devin Gordon just had one of those wicked pushes, and then until he snapped around, and now he's parked right in front of the leader to make life interesting.
Paul Veert already going around lap traffic. Veert gets the inside lane. Can Veert work his way around? They're close. Paul Veert makes his push around turn number 1, trying to get around him. Another car not far away in the distance. It's the 24 car trying to catch up to Paul Veert. That's James Wall. Rick Hamill currently holds third spot, followed by Jason Somak. And it's the 4D trying to work their way in there. Trying to make a little grief for our leaders, I think.
Oh, we got a spinner. Ish.
Or getting a detour.
How come he could push the U tire and it ripped my front end off? Oh, wait, because he hit it with his bumper.
He's still going.
Nicely staying out of the way.
Justin Lee. 7 laps to go in this feature. Paul Veert still out in front. James Wall, these two guys last year put on a bit of a show. Trying to do it again this year. Rick Hamill. He's a few car lengths behind them. He's got a way to go. Somak currently holding on to 4th spot. Behind him. Paul Veert. 4 laps to go in this feature race. James Wall just not catching up. Or is he cautiously waiting? Waiting for that mistake. Waiting for that opportunity.
James Wall's been around the track a long time, but I don't think most of us race cars drivers have much in that way of patience, especially not when you're looking up at the lap board and it's showing only 3 to go.
Once again, it's going to get interesting here for our leaders. Veert, Wall, looking at lap traffic again. And look at Wall, he's trying to sneak in on the inside. Is that lap traffic, the number 18 car of Gary Unruh, going to cause problems for Paul Veert? Quick on his heels is that number 2 car. They are getting the last lap signal. 1 more to go. Oh boy. Oh boy. In turn 1. Wall could not get by Veert. And Veert. Quarter of a lap to go. Looks like he's got this one locked. Paul Veert with the win tonight, driving the number 88. The 24 car comes in second, followed by the 22 of Rick Hamill. The 03. That's Jason Somack coming in fourth. Paul Veert with the big win tonight. Here's your leaderboard.
Didn't Somack pick up a win? No.
First race of the season.
Maybe, in Morden, maybe.
In Morden.
That must have been
possibly could have been, yeah. A great race here tonight. And Jason Somack has that car dialed in, 21.012 seconds. It's going fast.
Was that the fast lap?
That was the fastest lap of all our leaders.
There's something to take home from your
race tonight,
effort.
yeah.
That you're just a little short, but so you got your car dialed in, and you just got to work on your lap consistencies. That's half the battle. You know you got your car better than the field, then you can just focus on being a better driver. As drivers, we always want to blame the car.
It's like a mechanic blaming his tools, right?
That's right.
It shouldn't happen. The car probably performed correctly.
It's
maybe the guy behind the wheel.
So, IT guys have a term for that too, don't they? Isn't that a PEBCAC error? Problem exists between keyboard and chair.
We're going to head down to the center stage down there for Darren Palin in just a few seconds as Paul Veert gets out of his car. Of course, going to get a picture. Why not? Big night for him. And 15 cars tonight. There's your winner, Paul Veert. Lots to be happy about with tonight. And we're going to throw it down to Darren Palin.
For him from the Gold Eyes, and here is Paul Veert in the Midwest Modified Division. While that little number 88 working well here tonight.
Worked great tonight. That lap was a little bit of pain in the butt.
How much different is that from driving your late model?
It's a little easier.
No doubt. Okay, well, I'll let you hop in and get busy in that one.
Thanks, Darren.
Paul Veert, your winner, ladies and gentlemen, in the Midwest Modified Division.
All right, thank you, Paul. Thank you, Darren, and a big win for him tonight. The very first win here at Red River Co-op Speedway in that division. So we'll, of course, get the point standings at the end of the night, and we'll see how Paul does and how much of a lead he possibly has. Of course, that's not always the case, even on the first race, because last week, Scott Greer, of course, won the feature race, but Danny Staff is currently leading in the point standings in the modified. That, of course, could change next, because we are going to be moving on to the modified division, and they are up next here at Red River Co-op Speedway. So that's going to be an interesting one. We have a total of 14 cars, and we got another brother tandem up front. Isn't that something?
The Guillots.
The Guillots. Eric and Jerome will be taking the lead in this one, so this is going to be fun to watch. The boys from Vanistel, I had the opportunity to meet with them earlier this week as we did a story talking about Hans devices. And I was going to ask you, do you have a Hans device?
I don't.
Why?
Flat out, money.
The cost.
Yeah.
It is quite expensive, and those that don't know what a Hans device is, it's head and head and neck system or support, and it basically protects the driver from whiplash if they get a front-end collision. So it's not a cheap piece of equipment. It can run anywhere from $400 to $1,000 depending what model you buy, if you're buying a hybrid or a genuine Hans product. But a lot of drivers here do not use them. And it's a simple piece of equipment, but the cost, I think, is what does scare people off, right?
Absolutely, and I, as probably a lot of drivers do, they fill out their wish list at Speedway Motors or whatever their online race form is, and the head and neck restraint system was one of the first things I put on my wish list, which surprised me that my parents didn't get for me. So maybe that's saying something.
Jerome Guillot said that he was at the Wissota 100, and his dad was noticing how fast the cars were going around, and he says, "You're my kid. I don't care. You're getting one right now." And he made him buy one right there on the spot. So
yeah, and you know what? The whole Guillot family, just like the Tunuses, that's another beauty of a family to be around. Just like the Delanes and the Emerys and the Russos they're all champs. The Carolux. That's you know what? There's probably not a family name in that pits that aren't a beauty to be around.
Well, we better talk about the cars because they're about to get going here in just a second. Eric Guillot and Jerome Guillot will be our top two cars right up the front. Driving the number 40 in row 2, it's Henry Peters, followed by him on this outside. It's the 1R Rick Delane. In row 3, it's the 20X Darian Boyce and the 57 Kevin Sexton. Row 4, Scott Greer and Danny Staff, followed by Lee McRae and Ward Emery. Randy Belyuk and Ryan Karolek will round out row 6, and Steve Norden and Adam Magus are on row 7. And up front, Jerome Guillot driving the 48 car. He did well in the truck class. His brother also did well in the truck class. They are now in modifieds and have a little problem because one Guillot's been passed by the 20X. He had some speed issues in terms of he wanted more of it in his heat race. In the 20X, he's found some more of it in this feature race. Look at him go. He's up front already. That's Darian Boyce. Started in 5th spot. He's already in 1st.
Yeah, as the racetrack gets more slippery, that GRT that the Boyce is on they like that slippery stuff. It's great for point and shoot type racing.
And Guillot, having problems on the backstretch. So is his brother. They're following each other back there.
Jerome's got a nasty push coming in, and he just can't. He's doing everything he can to try and get the car to rotate, and it's just not rotating with any kind of momentum.
Last week's champ, Scott Greer, currently in 2nd spot. Rick Delane, 25's having problems. He hits the tire up front. And we've got a yellow flag, ladies and gentlemen.
While Eric brought out this caution here, I'm going to take a moment here to send a shout out to Ian Russo. His dad wanted him to know that Pops was cheering for him and watching the races here for you, and wanted to say hi while you're sitting at home in bed watching the broadcast. Ian, take care, bud, and get well soon.
Ian Russo driving the A1 Environmental yellow car. Probably won't be back at the track this year. Our thoughts and prayers are with him and his family. Hope he's doing well and on a road to recovery.
Having said that, you better get on your toes there, Ian, because Pops told me that A1's going to be at the Delane Memorial, whether you're in it or not. So
maybe we'll put you in it this year.
No, I don't think Ernie's. I don't think Ernie's ready to give up the keys to somebody whose name isn't Russo. But
well, you'll have to give it a name if you get into it. I heard Ginger's taken.
Yeah, Ginger's taken and Nina's taken. We'd have to come up with something different.
All right, we're getting ready to go back to modified racing here. They're still under a yellow caution, but racing will continue. Of course, the 25 car spinning out on turn number 2. That's Eric Guillot. He started in the pole position in this race, but looks like he's going to be moving further and further back in this race. Scott Greer currently sitting in the 2nd spot right behind him. Oh boy, this guy's a veteran at this racetrack. Told me 20, I do believe it's 22 years of racing modifieds here. Almost all 25 years since the modifieds came to Red River Co-op Speedway. That's the 1R of Rick Delane. He is currently sitting in the 3rd spot in this race. And last year, what a great race at the end of the season between Rick Delane and Ward Emery. Last race of the season to decide the points champion here at Red River Co-op Speedway. Delane held it going in. Ward Emery goes on and beats him in the last race just to slip by him. So these guys, I wouldn't say it's bad blood, but it's some great competitive racing, if anything.
No, you know what? They both love it. At the end of the night, you'll see their pits usually collide at some point with their crews, and it's always with smiles, never with anything else.
Well, that's what you want to hear here at the racetrack. Darian Boyce still your leader, but look at Greer trying to get to the inside.
Gio, Staff, and McRae were 3 wide there, and Gio's going to use up.
Oh,
looks
boy!
Like everybody.
Danny Staff gets hit hard. He manages to keep it straight, though. And we got a car right off the track, so I'm going to guess we're going to get another yellow flag here unless he's just going to stay off.
Probably should for Henry Peters. He was in abort mode.
Yeah.
He hit the ejection button there to save his race car, and once again Jerome just victim of that nasty push and used up Danny Staff, and I can't remember who else he hit. It happened so fast.
It does go quick. The 20X Darian Boyce, former champion here at Red River Co-op Speedway in the modified division. Not a great year last year for him here. Trying to rectify that here this year. Darian Boyce. Last week, not so well. This week, looking pretty good. He looks like he's got a lot of speed out there. And let's take a look at this here, what happened on the back stretch. And it's the 57. Looks like
he gets into Kevin Sexton first. Yep. Then it pushes again nasty and gets into Staff
and
hard.
Look at the air underneath Staff's tires. He went a little airborne.
It's a good thing Staff usually kind of 3-wheels that thing, because if he had any kind of weight on that left front, it would have been junk.
He used up his air miles and got a little bit of lift on that one, eh?
Yeah.
And I think Jerome Gio is going to be spending some time hammering out some metal this week.
Yeah, he's probably parked at the trailer right now. Probably not trying to fix it if I know Jerome at all. This is a take a step back and take a breath before we use everything up.
Now take a look at this. The Gio boys started first and second on the pole. One is at the back of the track, the other one's off the track.
Yeah.
So this race is going to have a very different look in a few minutes.
It sure will. And that's not the norm for the Gios. Jerome had such a great run last year with his new car, and this year has been less than stellar a start for him. He's kind of been fighting it right from the start.
Jerome Gio, of course, in the pits, and we're back to racing here at Red River Co-op Speedway. We've got a green flag, 12 laps to go in this modified feature.
Oh, Emery gets into McRae.
Boyce getting lapped by Greer. Is it going to happen?
I think you might want to settle down on your call there.
I should say
lap. Got passed.
Passed. All right, thanks, Ginger, as we go back to the racing action. You're not going to live that down for the rest of the night, just telling you.
That's all right. I've been called far worse things.
Scott Greer currently in the lead. We've got 10 to go. Darian Boyce hot on his heels, and these modifiers are whipping around the track. Rick Delane in third, Kevin Sexton fourth, Leah McRae in fifth, Danny Staff in seventh, Ward Emery trying to make his way up. He's getting around Staff. Ward Emery. Oh, he's having problems holding on. He's going high and wide.
Yeah, that's not Emery's comfort zone up there on the cushion, but that victory circle tends to like that momentum sort of deal, and it's not necessarily Ward's biggest comfort zone.
Danny Staff currently sitting right now in the 6th spot. He gets passed by Ward Emery. Ward Emery in front of him is the number 9 car. That's Les McRae. Lee McRae. And in front of McRae, we've got Kevin Sexton. Rick Delane in third. In second, Darian Boyce. And way out in front, it's Scott Greer, last week's winner, trying to do it again. Sean Tunis, repeat winner. Will Scott Greer do the same thing? Ward Emery's worked his way up to 5th.
3 wide coming out of 2. Norton, Peters, and Karalik were all going.
Scott Greer still in 1st. Darian Boyce getting further and further back, and Rick Delane's even further back than Darian Boyce. 1, 2, and 3. And look at Ward Emery.
Emery just picked up 2 spots while I was watching Henry Peters leaving the left front at home, 3-wheeling around.
That's the 10W. Ward Emery trying to make up ground. He's got a long way to go. Lee McRae, he's falling further back. He's battling it out with Danny Staff right now. Staff, McRae, fighting for 6th. Ward Emery in 4th. 3rd spot goes to Rick Delane. 2nd goes to Darian Boyce in the 1st spot. Once again, last week's winner, trying to do it again. It's Scott Greer in the 5G. Greer heading around turn 1. Hot on his heels. Look, Darian Boyce catching up. Darian Boyce making a move on the backstretch.
The GRT just has so much drive off the corner.
We are showing 1 lap to go in this modified feature race. Scott Greer, your current leader. Hot on his heels. It's the 20X. The 20X. Darian Boyce. He's got half a lap to make a move. Boyce, Greer, who's it gonna be? Who's it oh!
The GRT by a nose.
It is the 20X Darian Boyce. 1/2 of a lap to make his move, and he does it. Comes out of it with a win.
I don't know if anybody was paying attention, but you watch how Darian was driving his car and how Scott Greer was driving their cars, and it was like night and day. Rick Delane and Scott Greer both way faster, fastest laps. Well, not way faster, both faster by a 10th. And driving way smoother than Darian Boyce, who just squeaked by at the end with the point and shoot that you've got out of the GRT race car.
Darian Boyce, what a big win for him tonight. 5G Scott Greer. Oh, that's a heartbreaker. Could have been back-to-back wins.
If you're Scott Greer, that's a heartbreaker. If you're Darian and Howie Boyce, you're pretty happy to put the Boyce Mobile Wash in the victory lane.
Well, if you're Darian Boyce, I'm sure you're going to tell everybody it was not that close. It was much further apart from that. But
no, you know what? I'll agree with Howie. Howie would tell you he won by 70 feet, and Darian be the first one to tell you that, man, he just inched it out and he had all kinds of fun.
What an amazing win for Darian Boyce. We've seen some great racing here tonight in all the classes so far, so this is the way you want to see it. And it's been up front, not so much in the back stages, but a guy like Ward Embry, of course, Ward Embry started this race in 10th spot, finishes up in 4th. That's a great race for a guy like Ward to be that far back.
Not if you ask Ward.
Ward would have preferred in the top 2 probably, but
any of those top 5 guys, not if you ask them. They're not. None of those guys are happy with even second a lot of nights, right? They'll take what they got from it and try and learn something if they think they could, and if not, then they're just flat out disappointed with the outcome.
Darian Boyce makes his way to the front of the track, getting ready for his interview. We'll be moving over to the late models next, as they will race here tonight. There will be 11 cars in that feature race.
Man, that's a tough one. To lose the lead, come back and take it back, that's working for your money. Darren, take it away.
Thanks very much, Pat Mooney. Darian Boyce, the 20X, sponsored by Mobile One, Shadow Enterprises, Declan Design, Packing Away Mobile Storage. Congratulations, Darian. You want to talk about a heck of a race, man? You dropped a second there for a little bit, but you never quit, and that's the key.
Yeah, I kept her going, and I thought he was gone, but I mean, there's some spots he was faster, some spots I was, and just kept at her. And It was awesome, man. Awesome.
All right, anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Mobile One. I'd like to thank Veert Landscaping, Packing Away, Highway Number 1 Self-Storage, Trish Rentals, CB Investments. Thank you very much, guys, for you guys coming out here and supporting us. Right on.
How about it, ladies and gentlemen? Great drive tonight, no doubt about it. Darian Boyce in the 20X in the A Modified division.
All right, thank you, Darren. Darian Boyce, your winner for tonight. Scott Greer, Darian Boyce, neck and neck. A beautiful night here, just south of Winnipeg. There's the moon in the shot, as you can see, and we're going to show you some exciting racing as we go here to the late model division. We have 11 cars in this one. And, of course, he's back again. He won last week. He wasn't here that much last year, but the 7W of Ricky Weiss will be in the lineup for tonight. He will be taking on the 6th spot. We're going to go through the lineup of this late model class, and it'll be a rookie in this class that gets to start up front, so that's pretty exciting for him.
Yeah, if it's not like Mike Martin's a stranger to the steering wheel, so he'll be just fine out there starting on the pole, and I don't think anybody else behind him will be worried about him starting on the pole either.
He told me at the banquet at the end of the season he was pretty excited to be moving up to a late model, and I said, how do you think you're going to do it? He goes, it is what it is. If I win, I win. If I don't, I don't. So he's got a great attitude. He's out there having some fun, but let's see how he does here tonight. He did pretty good in his heat race. He held his ground for a long time.
Yeah, he did.
All right, so let's go through the late models as we take a look. Our first car, of course, on the pole, driving the 55, it's Mike Martin. On his outside, driving the number 9, the boss, Winnipeg Dodge, that's Walt Morris. In row number 2, he's driving the 71 car tonight. It is Rick Fawcett. On his outside, the 10 car of Mike Balkin. In row number 3, it's another 71 car. This one's got an S attached to it, though. It's Stefan Snare. On his outside, former champion here at one time in many classes. Of course, he was a truck champion, and he's been a late model champion. It's the 7W of Ricky Weiss. In row number 4, it's the 9A of Steve Anderson, followed by the 5E of Shane Edgington. In row number 5, it's the 88 of Paul Veert. And on his outside, it's the 92C of Cord Allard. And in row number 6, all by his lonesome, driving the yellow number 2, that's Bill Mooney. So the late models, if you're a big fan, you don't want to miss July 17th. That is when the NLRA late models will make their way here to Winnipeg, Manitoba to race at Red River Co-op Speedway. Some of the fastest cars in this region will make their way up here to duke it out on the dirt oval. Randy Paluco, Ken Plating here with you at Red River Co-op Speedway as we get ready for this one. Rob Como looking them over. We're going to go to green here if everything looks okay. The moon is out. The dirt is dry. And the track is ready to go.
Just the way we like it. Nice and racy. Slippery in the middle. There's a top side, a bottom side. And
oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Paul Veert.
Can't wait to see that replay.
And the 71 is Stefan Snare. Stefan Snare, you can see right into his cockpit. Wondering what happened there. Glenda Manning and the crew working the booth here tonight, doing a great job getting all the cars, in check. Let's take a look at the replay on this one and see how this one turned out. Oh, Snare.
That all started with the guy in the front there. Checked up and slowed up Balkin, and that's what checked up Snare, and so went the accordion.
Cars everywhere. It looks like we're getting a full restart on this one.
Yeah, they called that a racing incident.
So now that we got some time to kill, because we got to wait for them to go around, do all the drivers name their cars?
You should ask Karalik some of the names of his motors.
He gives his motors names.
Yeah. I know Mike Balkin names all of his cars.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah, it's certainly not where I got it from, was any of those guys. It's just I've always named my truck, so.
Mike Martin with the lead. Walton Moore is hot on his heels. And Mike Balkin not far behind. Mike Balkin goes to the inside. Look at him go. Mike Martin and Ricky Weiss.
Yeah.
He's coming up fast too.
Yeah, and here comes the other heat runner, Shane Edgington. Still got a little bit of a push, but
Mike Balkin is your leader after one lap. We've got 19 to go. 20 laps, of course, for the late models when they race here at Red River Co-op Speedway. Stefan Snare trying to work his way around. Oh, we got a guy in the infield. Ooh. It's the 71 of Rick Fawcett. He works his way back on the track. Now he's at the back end of the pack. Walt Morris falls back to 4th spot.
I think he'll be happy with that. That getting crossed up like he was there, that could have ended up all kinds of worse. Oh, here we go. Ricky and Mikey at it hard.
Ricky Weiss, we were completely wrong on the heat race. We should have saved that for the feature. We would have been right.
Yeah.
Ricky Weiss, look at the lead already. Is he running a World of Outlaw engine in that one?
Let's not start anything.
No rumors here tonight. But I'm just saying that's what Rennie told me.
Oh, wow. I think I just heard the gear shift as the bus was driven over me.
Ricky Weiss in the lead in this one. 15 laps to go. Mike Balkin in second. Martin in third. Followed by Edgington.
Who's still fighting that push.
Stefan Snare working his way up the track. Walt Morris drops back to 6th.
Yeah, if Ricky gets any kind, or if Shane gets any kind of traction, his car just turns right. And that's not a characteristic you like much out of a dirt race car.
Mike Martin still in 3rd spot. Like I said, rookie to this division, not to racing, was the Superstock champion last year, holding on firmly. Edgington, though, and Stefan Snare, a couple car lengths behind, trying to grab that 3rd spot. It's the 7W still in the lead. Mike Balkin trying to chew away at that lead. On the backstretch, it's the 9 and the 88, the number 9 car. Trying to hold on. That's the boss, Walt Morris.
Ricky Weiss starting to show some smoke here. I don't know if he just got a line coming loose or tire rub or...
We got it. There's lots of smoke coming out of the back of that car. 10 laps to go. Ricky Weiss, that lead is evaporating.
Yeah, see, if I'm Mikey, I don't want to follow him in the wheel tracks because if that's oil, that's not good.
Ricky Weiss got 9 laps to go. He's still holding on to the lead. Mike Balkin. These guys put on a racing clinic week after week. They are flying around this track.
And
8 laps to go. Our leaders coming around. Ricky Weiss, 18.54 seconds. That was lap number 4. He is flying around this track. And look at Mike Balkin going wide, trying to find his way around him. They are close now, aren't they, Rennie?
yeah, Ricky looks like he's in defense mode here a little bit.
They're going too wide on turn 2. That's Veert, Cord Allard, Walt Morris. They're all close to each other right now. That's a good battle as well. But up front, once again, 2 big racers showing us how it's done. Weiss, Balkan. The Derek Sandblasting 7W.
See, Ricky's smoke seems to have stopped. That's as scary as it is a good sign. That can often mean you're out of whatever fluid you were losing.
We've got 4 laps to go on the backstretch. It's Veert, Morris, Cord Allard. That's 7, 8, and 9 on the board.
And there goes Balkan for the lead coming out of 2.
Balkan finding some wheels. Oh boy. This is getting good.
As we come to lap traffic with 2 to go, Ricky got him back.
Ricky takes the inside and finds his way around. Balkan going high on this one. A lot more ground to cover. Now he's going inside. Oh, had to put on the brakes there as Ricky Weiss cuts in front of him. Ricky Weiss stays low. We've got 1 lap to go. Anybody's race. They are going through lap traffic. This changes the entire dynamic of the race. Ricky Weiss got about a car lead. Fawcett's beside him. Walt Morris in front of him. Ricky Weiss staying low and inside. He's your winner. Mike Balkan finishing up second.
Well, that was a good race. I don't know if it would have been that cut and dry if we didn't get into those lappers. I think this is one of those deals where it actually would have been a better race without the lapper.
Ricky Weiss winning the race, driving the 7W. Man, these cars were going fast tonight. 19.49 is the best time, and that was from Ricky Weiss.
And look at that, Stefan Snare, just a hair slower.
And
19.508.
Couldn't catch that ground. Got behind early and just he got the car dialed in, but just couldn't find that speed at the right time at the beginning.
Yeah.
Ricky Weiss with the win. Mike Balkan coming in second. Snare in third. Martin in fourth. Edgington fifth. Paul Veert coming in sixth. Cord Allard in seventh. And Walt Morris rounding out the top 8 is there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to, of course, talk to our winner in just a few seconds. Ricky Weiss won last week. He is back again this week, and he does it again. We were completely off when we made our predictions in the heat race that he would come up from behind and take the heat race. We were wrong.
We were.
If we would have taken the bet in the feature race, we would have been right.
Yeah, that would have been it.
So don't do what we say. Do the exact opposite, and then you're going to be right. Ricky Weiss, of course, coming into Victory Circle and celebrating another big win here at Red River Co-op Speedway. We'll be going 4-cylinder racing in just a few moments from now. But, of course, Ricky Weiss is going to come out and do a quick interview with Darren Palin and talk about tonight's win. We are going to throw it down to Darren Palin in just a few seconds. Darren?
Well, thanks very much, Pat Mooney. Ricky Weiss with his second win in as many weeks here at Red River Co-op Speedway. That thing was smoking profusely for a while. How did it go away?
I think it ran out of oil. It was power steering, and I'm sure I know what it's from, but just overlooked it, and I seen it smoking. I looked down. I had oil pressure. Okay, I'm still good. But a lap later, I had no power steering, and seen Mike on the outside of me, and I was easing off till I seen him, and I thought, well, it's either do or die. So,
well, great job. Anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my mom, my dad, all my sponsors. I'll step back so I get them all this time. Norm from AIE Communications, Speed World, Ibach, Derek Sandblasting, New Vision Graphics, Forest Services, Hands On Excavating, Q8 and Trucking, Turk Trucking, and Bloomquist Race Cars.
All right, how about it, Ricky Weiss, your winner in the 7W here tonight in the late model division. And, of course, Dave from Miller Racing Engines in Winkler, Manitoba. Since 1977, the choice of champions, Miller Racing Engines.
All right, so having some problems with the car. You were right when you called that one right off the hop. So he ran out of fluid for his power steering.
Yeah, and it was probably also right when I said he ran out of fluid. That's when the smoking stopped. But the good news is it was only power steering, and for a young buck like that, that's not the end of the world on a big track like this. That would have happened in Grand Forks. That would have been a whole other program, though. That's
much smaller track.
Yeah.
You're turning all the time, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, and it depends how well you're handling. If you're handling real well, you don't have to move the wheel a lot. You kind of steer as much with the throttle and the brakes as you do the steering wheel. But if you're off a tick, it becomes amplified that much more when you don't have power steering.
Well, we're almost done here for tonight. We got 15 laps on the Pepsi board as we get ready for our very last feature race of the night, and we're going four-cylinder racing here on Heart and Stroke Foundation night. And, of course, Rob Reese, driving the 44 car, we'll talk about in just a few seconds here. He is giving a portion of his winnings this year to the Heart and Stroke Foundation, so that's a nice gesture on his behalf. Let's go through the lineup of cars as we get ready for the 4 cylinders in this feature race for Thursday Night Thunder here at Red River Co-op Speedway. On the pole, driving the 83 car, it's Norman Anderson. In the number 44 car on his outside, we just talked about him, it's Rob Reese. In row number 2, Mike Perdonic driving in the number 91 car. On his outside, driving the 71, we've got Dean Milger. In row number 3, Mike Wenham is driving the 13, and the outside of him is the 96 of Sean Perdonic. In row number 4, the 17, Jim Mulholland. On his outside, the guy that did well in the heat race, we'll see if he'll do it here again, it's the K9 of Doug Kraus. In row 5, the 17B of Brandon Rehill, and on the outside, the 33 of Lauren Stoddard. In row number 6, Jamie Law driving the 16, followed by the number 4 car of Andy Schultz. And that'll do it for this 4-cylinder race, and it looks like we're going to go right away in this one. 15 laps on the board. 5 to 10 here is the time. And Rob Reese in the early lead. A little bumping in the back end with a few of the cars. Rob Reese way out in front already. Reese followed by the 83 of Norm Anderson. Uh-oh. A little more trouble there. It looks like it's Perdonic. And we've got a new person in second spot. It's the 71 car. That's Dean Milger. Reese, Milger, followed by the 83 of Norm Anderson. Those are your top 3. 13 laps to go on the board.
Kind of interesting to watch the Perdonics race like this. Another little fun fact, the Perdonic family's from a demo derby background, so just driving around in circles without hitting anybody is a bit of a new program that they've fallen into here, and obviously they enjoy it because the whole family's out doing it.
Perdonic doing a little rubbing of Pete on the back stretch. That's the 91 car and the 83. Mike Perdonic, the 83 of course. Norm Anderson. Four-cylinder class, probably the cheapest class to get into here at Red River Co-op Speedway.
Absolutely.
And if you're thinking about getting into racing, this is a good place to start.
For sure. They're lots of fun. When I drove one, I always knew I was going to hop into a full-size race vehicle before I bought my truck, but I got the opportunity to drive Mike Wenham's 4-cylinder for when they used to run the 100-lap Enduros, and I mean that was all kinds of fun. Before that, I had driven Sean Engleby's street stock a couple of times and not hot lap, but track packed a late model when I was just a young buck. But these things are as much race cars as anything else out there. If you look at their lap times at the end here, though, you'd be surprised what kind of numbers these guys turn. As much as they sound like bumblebees, they're certainly out there racing.
Well, the Enduro, of course, was such a neat thing to watch. There were sometimes that these Enduro races had tons of cars that would show up for them.
I think that race that I tagged the back of the field. I was in the 27th row.
Really? The 27th row. That's a lot of cars.
It was insane.
Oh boy, we've got some trouble on the front stretch. The number 4 car gets spun around. That's Andy Schultz.
Yeah.
And we're going to see a yellow flag, of
uh,
course.
Yeah, that wasn't going to start anytime soon.
Nope. So the 4 cylinders here getting a bit of a break with the yellow flag. That'll tighten things up here as they do the restart in a few minutes. Now, last week you had the opportunity to race at 7 o'clock. Did you like the change?
Jury's still out. The earlier race time, I don't think really makes much of a difference to me. That 30 minutes earlier, on the driver's side of things, it was indifferent. It was really neither here nor there. On the fan side of things, I liked it. I like to see that there was more people down in the pits after the program ran reasonably well, and that's what gets mom and dad down into the pits with the kid when he's going, I want to look at the race cars, because they know that they can still get home by 10:30 or 11 o'clock even with a quick zoom through the pits.
And I think that's the really appeal to racing compared to other sports. When you take a look at like hockey or football, you can sometimes wait outside the dressing room and see the odd player from time to time. But with a sport like racing, you're encouraging fans to go out there, take a look at this $60,000 car, this $2,000 car, and see what they have to do to put it together and make it raceable every single week. And I think that's great because they get that same camaraderie with the drivers that they don't get with professional athletes.
Absolutely, and you'd be hard-pressed to find a car in the pits that a driver hasn't put a kid into their cockpit and just shocked the heck out of the mom and dad and made that kid's night. And on the other side of things, I'll lay out the gauntlet to anybody watching. If you come down, bring your kids, you can bring them into the pits after, and they can sign the 73P Trucks tailgate, and that'll stay on there for the remainder of the season, and they can take a tour of what's going on in the pits here and see what it's all about after the show as well as during.
Well, that's actually a great gesture to get the kids and the fans involved, right? To see what a race car is all about.
Well, I mean, that's when I started, right? I was coming to the racetrack with my dad before I could remember. The first memory I have, I was already old enough, and I had been going for years with my dad, and I was the guy that kind of ran up to the concession stand to get everybody food and drinks, because that was my job, because I was the spawn.
We're back to green flag action here at River Cup Speedway. 8 laps to go in this one. Rob Reese still holding on to the lead. We've got the 71 car now in 3rd spot. The 96. Oh, we've got more problems. One car starting to move.
Yeah, the other one's not going anywhere.
Yeah, looks like we're going to have another yellow flag here if things don't change. And I think here it goes. Car is still racing.
Oh my.
Rob Reese still with the lead.
You might want to throw a yellow there, guys.
And Reese with a huge lead in front again. Milger.
They just continue to race away.
Perdonic in 2nd spot. Milger in 3rd. The other 91. That's the other Perdonic. That's Mike. They're rounding out your top 4. The K9, Doug Kraus trying to make the move. He gets around.
Oh.
Look at that. There's some 3 wide driving on the backstretch. That's
Perdonic said enough of that. I don't want to be the meat in this bun.
Doug Kraus.
Oh, and Perdonic just crosses him over to take the spot back again.
Trying to find a way around.
Yeah.
Thought he had it. Oh, we're underpaid. Can the 91 hold on? Looks like he does.
Just scrubbed all his momentum.
And a layer of paint, I think, off the car.
Well, it couldn't have been off Doug's car, because I don't think Doug's car has seen any new paint in 5 years.
Maybe longer. The K9 trying to find his way around. The 44 going through lap traffic. We've got 2 laps to go in this feature race. The 96 in second. The
There's some
91 in
brotherly
third.
love.
And the K9 keeps trying to squeeze in on the inside. He can't find a way around. We have 1 lap to go for our leader, the 44. And there is some love on the front straightaway for a couple of family members. The 91 and the 96. That's Mike Perdonic and Sean Perdonic. And here we go. Here's the win for the 44 car. What a great night for him to turn around and win on Heart and Stroke Foundation night. The 44 car of Rob Reese wins. And like I said, a portion of his winnings this year goes towards the Heart and Stroke Foundation. So couldn't ask for a perfect night for him to turn around and get a W.
No, he swept too, didn't he? Took his heat win and then the feature as well, laying the Punisher down on the Heart and Stroke.
The 44 car with the win tonight. He's going down to the victory circle to, of course, do an interview. Crowd starting to thin out and head home. And just a few minutes past 10 o'clock. Still plenty of time for fans to go down to the pit area and check out some of the action. And don't forget, we're back here at Red River Co-op Speedway at the 19th of June for Thursday Night Thunder. Now we're going to throw it down to Darren Palin for tonight's winner.
With a great drive in the 4-cylinder division, their first appearance in the 2014 season. Rob Reese, Heart and Stroke Foundation night here at Red River Co-op Speedway. Your east side ventilation 44 worked well.
Yeah, I got to thank those Hoosier tires. It makes a heck of a difference.
Now, you've been doing this a long time, and I know you have a great time at it. What got your interest in racing?
Probably a video game that I started playing way back in 1995.
All right, anybody else you'd like to thank?
Of course, I'd like to thank my sponsors, Eastside Ventilation, Proform, Pure Performance, and of course, I'd like to thank all the staff and everybody that came out from Heart and Stroke today.
All right, Rob Reese, your winner in the 4-cylinder division, ladies and gentlemen. Well, at this time, that brings to a close our program here tonight for Thursday Night Thunder. We invite you down to the pit area on behalf of our sponsor, Miller Racing Engines, the choice of champions. Once again, thank you very much for coming out, and we'll see you next Thursday night right here at Thursday Night Thunder.
Thank you, Darren, and we are going to wrap it up for ourselves. What a great night of racing. We saw some excellent action up front from some of the big cars. And, of course, nice way to end it up for Rob Reese, of course, on Heart and Stroke Foundation night.
It was a good night.
It was a great night. So for myself, my partner, Randy Paluco, his truck Ginger, we'd like to thank you guys for watching tonight. I hope you have yourself a great night, and I hope to hear back from you guys next week. And tune in for another episode here of Thursday Night Thunder on the Manitoba Racing Network.